What is up, guys? I am one of your co-hosts, Malachi, and welcome to the Backlog, where we talk about gaming, movies, and shows with a focus on superhero content and the occasional tangent. Here is my co-host.
I'm Kel here, and I'm gonna just add that occasional is kind of in big air quotes on that tangent part. I'm gonna be the guy in charge of the tangents, but yeah, I'm Kel, other co-host. Fun fact about me for today is that this is kind of topical too. I think Superman is typically kind of boring. I actually think Supergirl is much more interesting, and that brings us
in my opinion.
But yeah, that kind of brings us to today's subject, Supergirl. We just saw the movie. And for those worried about spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, we're going to, the first 30, 40 minutes of this is going to be spoiler-free.
Yep.
I actually forgot to set that timer.
It's all good. That's all good. We got a timer right there.
Regardless, it's going to be spoiler-free after that. For those who have also seen the movie, we're going to get into the deep parts.
All right.
We're going to, get that out of there.
Yeah. All right, so let's get started with the non-spoiler section. All right, man, what's your take on this film coming out the gate? When you walked into the theater, what were you expecting?
So, honestly, I was excited. Like I said, I think Superman can be a bit boring. Now, I love this last Superman movie. There's, once every blue moon, I think Superman is done awesomely. But I generally actually find Supergirl to be much more compelling and interesting. I feel like she's kind of allowed to have more of her own personality, where I think Superman kind of gets boxed into having to be very strong and very good, and he's just those two things.
And is this take via comics or the shows, or what?
Honestly, kind of both for the most part.
You've seen the show?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen the show.
Which show?
The Supergirl show that's on CW.
I saw a bit of that one. I'll be honest, I couldn't stomach all of it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Supergirl's been trash, no?
Yeah, but the kind of
historically,
the big gripe with
comics are comics better?
Oh yeah, comics are way better.
Comics are the best.
Animated shows are way better. The Supergirl show on the CW just stunk. And the big problem with that one is because in that show, Supergirl is just female Superman.
Okay.
She's given his personality traits of just being really nice, and yeah, she's really strong, and that's kind of it.
Okay, yeah. I think my take going into this film, what I was expecting was kind of I wanted more of a universal deep dive into James Gunn's DCU, because I kind of wanted them to expand on the lore of this universe, how she's gonna end up relating to Superman, how her villains are maybe gonna intertwine with him, if she's gonna need help with some of her villains. If she's gonna call in, like what their dynamic. I thought it was gonna be more of a dynamic film between. I know he wasn't gonna be in the film much,
right?
Because it is a solo film for her. I didn't expect an origin story, obviously.
I did.
I thought it was gonna kind of be more of a Supergirl adventure that dove into the universe and expanded on the lore of the DCU, specifically because James Gunn is setting a new precedent with this new set of films that he's making. He's he's gonna make his own MCU-esque thing, you know what I mean? And so we're going to get a Batman, we're going to get a Wonder Woman, we're going to get a Flash, assuming
especially that Flash.
So I think fleshing out Superman villains and Supergirl villains and other villains are going to be very important moving forward, and that's kind of what I was expecting from this film. Did we get that? No. We're going to go in the spoiler section. We're going to talk about
specifically what we did get. We'll still have some tips for you guys who haven't seen it. Kind of to add on to my expectations, is kind of piggybacks off of what you said, but I was definitely thinking going into the movie, it's weird how we're going straight from, obviously we can't do Batman because Robert Pattinson's Batman is still kind of doing his own thing, but I'm like, where's Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
Because, she's a woman, she's there, she's part of the Trinity and whatnot. This can't be a hot take by this point. I'm going to say it. Wonder Woman is the redheaded stepchild of the DC Trinity. She just doesn't deserve that.
Especially when it comes to films and shows.
Oh, man.
She gets blackballed so crazy.
The shafts,
to be a part of the big
man.
three, even in animation, Superman got his own show. Batman got his own show. Goated, by the way. Where's Wonder Woman's show? I don't understand why she didn't get a show, especially because her lore is interesting.
Exactly. And I think she would have been great to build out the DCU Earth. That was kind of... Coming into the movie, I was worried, okay, we established Earth. We established Superman's here. He's important. And there's actually tons of metahumans all over the place. And now we're just going to go to space. I thought Wonder Woman was probably the more appropriate choice because she can help us flesh out Earth more because I need to know about how the Earth is just crawling with superheroes and, life seems to be pretty chill. So
after seeing this film, do you think this was a good movie to be the second part of the DCU? The second film in the I'm assuming the swath of DCU films we're going to get. Do you feel like that was a good second film?
I'm going to say no. And honestly, going into it, I didn't think it I thought it would be a good movie on its own, but I didn't think it would be a good second movie for the universe. I'll be honest, I thought it would be a bit better than it was because I thought it would kind of like bounce back and forth between like the Earth and space, you know, kind of like, you know, of course we were gonna get some Krypton lore. It's Supergirl, that's kind of her thing.
Yeah.
And like, I know exactly what this movie was sort of kind of like digging at because Supergirl doesn't just chill on Earth like Superman. It was kind of hitting it like Woman of Tomorrow, or like one of my favorite kind of storylines, especially Supergirl storylines like Red Daughter Krypton, which is obviously not related to this movie. No, she doesn't become a Red Lantern. But you know, it's the fact that Supergirl has her own spacefaring stuff pretty far removed from what Superman is doing. And yeah, I expected that, but I still thought it would kind of connect, and this kind of does just feel like it's sort of just something just happening. Like I feel like you could watch this and you could watch Superman, and honestly, like they could be two movies in a completely separate movie universe, other than the fact that
aside from their cameos.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm okay. Do you think that at this point the DCU is better off or worse off than the MCU in its inception, with Iron Man and Hulk being the first two movies?
Yeah, the Iron Man, the Hulk kind of puts it in perspective because it's like I feel like they both come out with like a big hit with Iron Man and Superman respectively. Both, of course, going to be like around their first main guy of their universe, and then they kind of have like someone else who's going to be pretty important, not as important as other characters in a Trinity, you know, because you got Iron Man, Thor, Cap, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And they kind of bounce over those guys to like the Hulk or like Supergirl, and both of them I'm gonna say kind of
you're right, because the Hulk was the second film and he's not in the big three, and Supergirl's not in the big three as well, but they're both notable characters in their universes.
They're definitely nobody to just scoff at.
Yeah. But I think that this film, I think that so far the MCU was off to a better start with their first two films because Hulk was not necessarily a spectacular film. We know this, right? Hulk was pretty mid, but it did build out the universe more on Earth. It explained more of the politics on what's going on and how the military operates on Earth. And on top of that, the fights were really cool, in my opinion. They did a really good job with the CG in Hulk. It was interesting the whole time. I mean, you know, you could say it had some pacing issues, yeah, sure. But I think Iron Man is a far superior film than Superman. In my opinion,
I'd give it that. I'd say
if you give me Iron Man and Superman, I didn't like Superman that much. I think it was overhyped a little bit. I liked it because it brought back a vibe with character that we didn't see in a long time. However, I think that change with like Man of Steel for that character was warranted in certain ways because I think Superman being a Boy Scout is uninteresting, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. I don't care. I feel
like half the internet, like it's literally split right down the middle. Half the internet agrees with you. I agree with you. And the other half hates that. Yeah. And honestly, it's like I can see the merit in both versions of Superman, but I'm sorry, man. We got the Boy Scout a whole lot longer. That's why there was this wave of Man of Steel to Omni-Man to Homelander. I guess the other way around.
Yes.
But you get my point. And it's like,
and those characters are more interesting than traditional Superman. By leagues.
But I'm standing on that one.
By leagues.
That one with him. We'll both die on that hill.
Omni-Man in his inception being an Superman type character, but being, you know,
different,
morally
so
gray, it's more interesting than Boy Scout Superman ever was.
And it's like,
even at his peak,
it's not even that I think that Superman can't be interesting as a Boy Scout. I actually really do think Boy Scouts can be very interesting.
Because Cap is the same way.
Exactly. And Cap does come off more interesting. I'm not a big Cap fan myself. I think
but him not being as strong as a lot of people he fights makes it more interesting because it is his morals.
Yeah, he's kind of like the underdog.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. There's something about like the Boy Scout underdog that's pretty
endearing. That's more intriguing than the Boy Scout overpowered guy.
Not to mention, I don't know. I think,
and then you have to make his villain so powerful to even give him a challenge that it breaks the universe.
Yep.
You can't have Batman and Superman in the same fight. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Superman has to be so powered down, or Batman needs to be so powered up to even be in the same room. So what are we talking about? Anyway, we're gonna get off the tangent about the universe.
I was gonna say, the whole tangents thing.
Yeah.
No, that was him though.
That was me. I'm gonna start going off on tangents. All right, he used to be the tangent guy for the first two episodes. This episode 3. All right, I'm going on tangents this time. All right, because this movie pissed me off a little bit. I can't lie.
I'm a little bit heated. Like, we both just watched it. Like, we came straight home to do this after the fact, and it's like coming out of the theater, it's like, okay, cool little movie. I'm not gonna lie, I put it just a little bit below Captain America: Brave New World, which you guys don't know my take about that. I think it's a good movie. Like, it's just above mid. It's good. Didn't break any new ground per se, but I do like it. I like Sam Wilson's Cap. I enjoyed that movie. This one, I'm not gonna lie, I think Supergirl's like a cool mediocre. Like, coming out of the movie, I was thinking, okay, mid. And the more I
the more you think about it, the more it pisses you off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little insulted by that movie.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Like it called me dumb.
Let's do a quick caveat. Let's go do a quick caveat. We are not ever going to hate on a film because there's a female lead or because it's girl power or whatever, right? This is not that.
I actually genuinely think Supergirl is a more interesting and better character than
Agreed,
Superman.
yes. The problem that I have with this film is that it's not going to be able to be defended against the type of people that do yes, the people that think that the movie is bad and they're screaming on the internet, oh, we're tired of getting female leads, we're tired of the woke stuff, we yada yada yada.
Like
you can't defend the film against them because it is literally not that good. It's not one of the like you don't point to Supergirl and be like that's a movie that has a good female lead, and it's like the actress did great. I'm not gonna the acting was good. The writing is not there.
That movie
this movie was written by ChatGPT, the old one, the one that didn't work when I was in college. That's what wrote this.
I'm like, it's either that or like the movie was written by the same type of people who will say it's
yes,
because it's got a female lead.
Okay,
like, it feels like they kind of didn't engage with it as deeply as like Superman, and it's even
the
worse
writers called it in. They did.
It's like it's even worse because Superman and Supergirl are standing right next to each other.
Yes,
so it's literally just the difference between a male protagonist and a female one. Yes, they're different characters, but that's the biggest difference.
Superman as a film to be in the same universe has a whole different vibe. I'm not saying that this vibe was done incorrectly. It was more of a Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe.
Yeah, it feels like going straight from Iron Man,
but it was done poorly.
Superman, but it feels like going from the first movie straight to Guardians, which is weird.
Yeah, you get the edge of like a Guardians film without like any of the fun.
Yeah, I feel like there were some tries for the fun, but
Seth Rogen was great.
Hit right.
Seth Rogen was great.
Yes, he does show up in this
Lobo
movie.
was great.
Cool. Lobo, of course, was very.
The rest of the characters, I actually was waiting for them to get off the screen. Like, I'm not lying to you. I was like, please bring back Lobo.
Yeah, like they
start a fight scene so he shows up, please. Like, I'm begging you, big dog.
The occasional moment where I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting for that character. That was witty what they said, and then it was like back to, all right.
Yeah. When the film slows, it slows to a screeching halt. I'm talking about non-linear storytelling about stuff that breaks the universe for me.
Yeah.
Like going back and doing those flashbacks, like the more you think about it, it's like if the movie didn't have this in it, it'd be better.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of does.
Why go back and explain something?
Does I forget? Did we find like some contradictions to OG Superman? Well, not OG Superman, the most recent Superman. There were some things that
it wasn't necessarily. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily contradictions as much as it was these characters are dumb, and I see that now.
Yeah,
the people on Krypton might actually all be.
It's like they're the dumbest smart folks you ever seen, and like Kryptonians, I feel like that's just kind of that's their character, you know, because they're the super.
But it's out of hubris.
Yeah, exactly. They're the super geniuses who can send Superman and Supergirl to Earth with no difficulty, but they can only make the pods fit these little kids, and they also blow up their whole planet before they realize it's happening.
Yeah,
but, like
we'll get to that in spoilers.
Right.
However, we're getting when we're coming up on spoiler section, we're gonna have maybe 15 more minutes, and then So.
But yeah, in this one it feels like the Kryptonians are just they're like they do a whole lot of really good math, and they're just idiots past that.
Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to Superman and Supergirl, what film do you think would work next?
Like, where should they go next?
Yeah, where should they go from here?
I think
with this movie being, and how long can they sit on this movie without people losing interest in their universe? Because I will say this is a trip. They were off to a little jog with Superman. It was a good film. It wasn't the best film in the world, but they were off to a good start. And then this movie is a rock in the road, right? They tripped over a hurdle. I can't lie.
I gotta agree with you.
It's not gonna hold up the test of time. It's gonna be.
I was very excited for this universe, and I still am.
Yeah.
But this is definitely.
This movie is gonna be the Thor: Dark World of the DCU, I think. Yeah. Where it's the villain's not necessarily memorable. There's cool moments that happen in it. I will give it that.
Yep, there definitely are.
But it's not. It's gonna be like, oh yeah. You know, that's there. It's there.
I was gonna say, like in Dark World, like I remember distinctly. Okay, there was that big guy who was just absolutely rocking Thor back to back.
Yeah.
And then there was the last fight where like Thor is fighting Malekith, whose name I only remember because it sounds like his. And they're like,
I think I've already forgotten the villain's name.
Oh, which one?
For Supergirl.
Oh yeah, I've
actually
had to remind him of this guy's name like 3 times.
Yeah, it's like because they barely mention his name. He doesn't do anything notable really, aside from the bad guy stuff, the cartoon villain bad guy stuff. That like
Pretty
he's
much.
objectively. That's another thing. Like the villains in the DCU aren't like, and I'm not acting like every villain needs to be Thanos, but like so far the villains have been cartoonishly evil.
Yeah,
right?
and it's like with Luthor that was fun.
Yes,
because like one is kind of a return to like the like dorkishly good Superman.
Yes.
And also Luthor, he's a great pure evil villain because it's like he's not just he's just casually mean. No, he's petty. Like he's a villain because he's petty. I think if you could take the pettiness out of Lex Luthor, he would not be a villain. And that's kind of Lex Luthor 101. But it's like he takes the pettiness to the nth degree. Yeah. I mean, we all saw Superman. He had like people trapped in a pocket dimension because they posted something bad on him.
He slimed him out too, bro. He was not afraid to pull the trigger, bro.
Man. Like,
but this villain doesn't do anything as riveting as what
like
Lex
it's not
did.
Interesting. It's not like, wow, like you're a deeply messed up guy. It feels like he's it feels like he's literally got to do an evil thing every once in a every few seconds just to remind us, like, I'm the villain of this movie.
Yes. And it's like, even though Lobo steals the show.
Lobo does steal that guy's show.
The weakest part of this film is probably the villain and the supporting main character. We're gonna get to that in spoilers as well. But like that character pissed me off. I can't lie.
I'm not gonna lie, from the trailer, I definitely thought that was a random extra. She actually wound up being a major part of the movie.
We got a MacGuffin that does nothing in this film. Why it was there, I don't know.
Can't deny those allegations.
I've never seen a movie do that before. Have you?
No, that is pretty interesting. A MacGuffin that does nothing. Like I've seen MacGuffins that it's like, oh, they're like a kind of a hoax or something like that. It's not really one, but the first thing I think of is like when the Matrix of leadership is just like it just turns. Old.
That was silly too.
Actually,
okay,
but no,
that pissed me off.
It wasn't a physical thing. It wasn't a physical thing.
Yes. You're correct.
Like,
you're correct.
And
they do that in Transformers 1 as well.
Beast mode
yes. No, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like I'm trying to remember some more examples. There's like fake out MacGuffins where it's like it wasn't real all along, but there's actually something more meaningful.
Or even if it was a MacGuffin that was set up to be something stronger later, say Thanos' gauntlet with no stones.
Yeah.
Right? Or the stones with no gauntlet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like in the MC, like there was MacGuffins that had no particular use at the time, but later on they're going to become something. This sword,
I don't think is going to do that. Nah, it's just there.
I don't think they're going to talk about it in any other.
To me, it looked like they put Chekhov's gun on the wall, and they just genuinely didn't. Like, technically, someone goes to use it, but it's not special remotely, and it's not even like the movie kind of acknowledges. It's not like the Matrix of leadership turning into dust. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, that sword is a sword. Congratulations. But, like, literally some of the first lines in the movie are how these swords are remarkable. And, like, one mention of it later.
No spoilers.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But, yeah, basically the point is these swords are immediately brought to be something remarkable. And for those people who know out there, it honestly distinctly gave me vibes of Kagurabachi, which is getting an anime soon. I can't wait for that. I've just heard a lot about the manga. But basically the plot of that being that the main character's dad made a bunch of super powerful magical swords, and so the main villain starts off by going straight to his dad's house, and he's like, "You're gonna give me these swords, or everyone's gonna die."
Yeah,
and
in the anime,
that's the vibe I got here. Except the sword wasn't special.
Yeah. The AI that wrote this watched the anime as a training algorithm, for sure.
Or read the manga. It's not anime yet. Okay. It's gonna be pretty cool though. I think
the manga was in its files for sure. Anyway, and I'm not even trying to be mean to this movie because I really was rooting for this movie. And I didn't want to go in with any preconceived ideas or anything like that. I didn't watch too many trailers. I maybe watched one trailer. I think.
They'd be pretty good.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be Superman-esque with a different vibe. Sure, cool. I like the same quality as Superman at least.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
The fight scenes were done well, for the most part.
Yeah. I'd say they were honestly I'd definitely say they were a step or two below the Superman fight scenes, but they were still pretty good.
Yeah, the Supergirl felt a little slow in this film. Especially when you're coming off of recent superhero media where Superman-style characters are very fast.
And, extremely kinetic. Think Man of Steel. Invincible's another one.
Yeah.
Even Wonder Woman, actually, in the DCU. Where it's they kind of just blur on screen. They're standing in one spot, then they're just suddenly elsewhere, and someone is flying
I think there was one scene where Supergirl felt very menacing or very strong or over
imposing.
Imposing on screen in this film, and that was during the last fight with the dust. And
I say the last fight, and then are we in spoiler territory yet?
No. I'm just trying to reference parts of the movie.
Okay, I say the last fight, and then the first one. The one where she actually like kind of gets to show her powers for the first time.
Okay, yeah. And she is a formidable fighter even without her powers. We saw that in the movie as well.
Which
she's not weak.
That one. Superman couldn't say that.
Yeah. No, literally, yeah. Superman without his powers is not moving like how she is. I'm not gonna lie. She's actually moving different. But what I'm saying is that like the choreography was one of those movies where the camera like pans to the character that's hiding, and then in the background you could see the fight, which is like lame. In my opinion, really lame. And I get you want to do budget stuff. That can
be really cool, but it's like I feel like there's good and bad ways.
Yeah. You want to save budget, but also like why we're here then. Where we came to the movie theater to see the big budget fights. Give us the big budget fights instead of us staring at the girl in the corner while she's in the background fighting. That's not fun to me. That's never gonna be fun. Same thing that DC is notorious for this. Darkness in the background where you can't see anything in the fights. Camera shake, spamming, cutting 10 million times. Give us a good one take fight. We're in the big 2.6. You can make CG that looks good enough to give us a one take fight throughout. Even if you're not doing one take, John Wick exists. Right, one take fights that look really good. Right, get good choreographers. Put the budget into the writing and into the fights, and the rest. We already know that we don't need the biggest, and we don't even have the biggest cast here.
No,
it's not like the budget went to the cast, right?
I'd say literally the most expensive guys in this movie are Seth Rogen and Jason Momoa.
Yes. That's and it's like, sure, they probably did cost a pretty penny, but not enough to sacrifice the writing, and not enough to sacrifice the fight scenes.
5 lines, and Momoa's Lobo does show up decently often in this movie, but he's still not the main character, you know, and it's like, it's just, they're not out of budget. I actually think, because one good thing I will give this movie is that the various alien designs are actually pretty
They're
great.
Fire. They're like Star Wars.
Yeah, like they got some like Star Wars level alien designs where
they
it's
did
just
a really
some
good job.
outlandish stuff, and
they look
pretty fascinating to look at, and they look really high quality.
Yes.
And I almost wonder if like did too much of the budget go towards those guys?
Yeah, especially the beetle bug dude that like walked up to her and then he had like the wide eyes. He looked so good, man. He looked so good. As far as character designs, which characters look the best and which look the worst to you?
Like in terms of like quality of production or aesthetics?
Aesthetics.
Aesthetics? Yeah, honestly, I'd say most of the movie wasn't really my kind of aesthetic. I'd probably give it to maybe like Lobo, honestly. Either Lobo or honestly maybe even Supergirl. I kind of like the clean hero aesthetic. Maybe with so this is going to be kind of my hot take, but I know a lot of people are all like, too many extra lines and details and superhero designs. I definitely think there's a reasonable limit, and there are cases that go like clean over the line, like Thor's suit in Love and Thunder, for example. But like, I actually like the more detailed superhero suits. I think like, for example, the Corn Sweat Superman suit. It's a good suit, but that's like, I'd say it could use a little bit more detail. That's my personal take.
My personal take, I hate that suit. Holy, I hate that suit. I hate Corn Sweat's suit. I hate the new Supergirl suit. I hate
I would say her suit kind of let me down. She usually looks a bit cooler than Superman.
You know what era of suits I liked? TASM 1 suit, Man of Steel suit,
kind of like a bodysuit kind of deal.
OG Flash with like the leather texture from the show.
Pretty cool.
From the show,
I feel like season 4 suit was also like really good in the Flash show.
That like textile, I love that like textile. I don't know. They were like addicted to it in like the early 2010s.
They were, but
like
it was
2010 to
cool,
2014. I love how that looked, man. Like they, was it Patterson's Batman?
Oh yeah,
I love his suit, man. His suit's so cool.
He looks great.
And I love how they like didn't have the cowl connected to the helmet, so that it doesn't float. So he can actually move his neck. It's like connected to a raised collar. That looks so cool to me, man.
Yeah, I actually did not think Batman with a raised collar would look that good.
It looks so good.
He looks dope.
At least in my opinion. And I know a lot of people hate it. I get that a lot of people want like the animated
classic Batman.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
they want like the animated
big
show.
Head to shoulders
but
thing, you know?
These new era of suits, the Flash season 4 through 9, where he got that like the suit that comes out of the ring, 5, that suit stunk. Because it has the same textile feel as like the Corn Sweat suit or like the Supergirl suit. They have this like flat, it's like a flat fabric look, and it's like it just looks bulky. It looks baggy on Corn Sweat, and on Supergirl, her skirt looks really dumb in my opinion.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to feel.
It just looks a little silly to me. You know what I'm saying? And like another thing is like this film, the vibe of this film almost is like it's like Logan-esque.
Yeah.
Where like you know how like in the movie Logan he never puts on the suit. He fights in like his like scrappy kind of like. He just looks like a blue collar worker the whole time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like they're just kind of they just look like some
because
person
the vibe
going
of
around
that
fighting
film,
people until like the last act where they're supposed to. All right, suit up. I am a superhero.
Yeah. But he didn't even suit up in Logan. He remember?
Yeah, now Logan.
He never suited up. I think the
Hence
film works better if she does not suit up in this film.
Yeah.
I don't think that this film
say the suit up didn't
warrants,
do anything in this movie.
Warrants the suit. And she even says it. It's just a stupid suit. It doesn't do anything. That's her attitude to the suit. Why suit up?
Yeah, and it's like I definitely once it showed up again, that was another kind of like Chekhov's gun situation.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this movie's called Supergirl. You know, the logo, all that's in the marketing. She's gonna suit up. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna mean a lot for her sense of self.
Yeah.
It kind of just. I'm not gonna lie. It like I honestly feel like just in that movie in the moment for that character. I don't even see why she put it on. Like I feel like she would have got up.
There's not really.
Like,
I'm not gonna spoil
like the version of Kara we meet. I think even at this moment, after she has this kind of realization, she would get up and go do the final battle without the suit. I think she just put it on. I think that
I think that would honestly work better for the character, in my opinion.
Like I get why she's got to wear the movie or wear the suit because it's the Supergirl movie, but. Like I don't feel like enough was done to kind of sell okay, this is a suit, this is my identity I'm stepping into.
No, it wasn't. And I think the closest she got to that point was near the time that the credits roll. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but
basically
that was really when her arc was kind of complete.
I'd say it might have actually been kind of in the midpoint of the movie. It was one of the flashbacks basically when like kind of the reason that she's eventually gonna decide to be Supergirl again comes up. I think honestly if a lot more kind of emphasis and weight was given to that specific moment, that could have justified her putting on the suit right then and there.
Yeah.
But that's not the finale, so if she put on the suit there, it'd be a little weird, I guess.
All right, yeah. So I think we're gonna get into spoilers at this point.
Let's get
spoiler warning for everyone that has not seen Supergirl.
If you haven't seen the movie and you care, go on and just pause this, put in another tab, watch later, come back to it.
Before we get into spoilers, what would you give the movie out of 10? What's your verdict?
I'm giving it like a 4 or 5, honestly.
Okay, you gotta pick. Go ahead, give us some.
I'm trying to think of like what I'd consider to be like the standard, like because I'd say really this movie puts me in mind of Captain America: Brave New World. Like I said, that one's like a perfectly inoffensive, good movie. That one's like I'm trying to decide if 5 to me is like perfectly neutral.
Yeah, we'll say
good.
5's average.
Okay, yeah. So
5's
like,
a perfectly average
I'd
film.
say
Nothing
Brave
good.
New World's a 6. This one, I gotta give it a 4. I need to be specified that this movie, it's like it would be mid, except it's a little bit worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in that territory of mediocre. Where it's like you're generic, but also kind of just low quality.
Yes, I think if you go into this film looking for just a fun little summer flick, you're gonna leave disappointed. I think.
Oh, you think so?
I think you're gonna leave disappointed.
I think if you're not the kind of person who thinks about movies, then it'll be fine. But a lot of us think about our movies, and I think about them a lot. Actually.
And there's other movies that are more fun to watch if you're looking for a movie to not think about.
That's definitely true. If you're not a thinker, there are more fun movies.
I think for what this film was trying to accomplish, and I think we saw what it was trying to accomplish. I understood what it was trying to accomplish, at least for the writers, what they were trying to do. Honestly, where this film is in the DCU, I think I gave this film a 4. I think I give this film a 4.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like, I mean, bare minimum, this movie just had to follow up Superman successfully, and I can't say I think it did that.
So smooth 4 out of 10 for me, slightly below average. 5 being an average film, slightly below average.
It wasn't just like constant, like painful bad of a movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I can't say I'm not pretty disappointed.
That's true. Okay, yeah, we're getting into spoilers now. We'll give you a quick little countdown and we'll get into it. So,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I didn't count that right.
Holy shit! This movie pissed me off. Okay, there were so many things about this film that what are we doing? I don't know. Okay, this film like low key insults your intelligence. Okay, so.
Yeah. And actually, like low key, we're not just using low key.
The more you think about it,
like you actually have to stop and like think about it. Unless you're a high grade, eagle-eyed movie critic, it could slip by you. But once you put 30 seconds of thought to it, it's kind of insulting.
Okay, so how does the movie start off? Where do we start?
We start off with this girl in this village in some house on some planet somewhere.
Yeah,
doesn't really matter.
Literally bumfuckistan, by the way. Where is this?
Somewhere space.
Yes.
Again, if you watched our spoiler-free part of the cast, you'll know that I was saying very Kagurabachi-esque opening here, where this father makes these really special swords, and the bad guys are here because they want these swords real bad.
Yeah, and this could be cool, right?
I thought it was gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, the dad, who is that in lore, right? Like she goes into this bar afterwards. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, okay, go ahead.
But basically they come on in. If I'm not mistaken, the son in the family like has some headphones on. He's just being a doofus, just jamming out or whatever. But basically this guy comes in, really bad guy. He's got all this crap in his face, looks very Mad Max. And he's like, I want these swords. I don't even remember the whole conversation, but basically he wants these swords. He's gonna get them. They make him a pie. He stabs the table, which of course he does. He's the movie's villain. And then he picks up the pie and he like he peels everything that's not the crust, drops it on their table, and just eats the crust. Which again, I get it. You're the movie's villain, but also like, you disgusting freak who just eats the crust of the pie. Like, I like the crust, but like, dude. Anyway. He's doing that, and like they're like, all right, we'll give you the friggin' swords and just get out of here.
Yes.
And he's like, all right, your wife's gonna take me to the swords. You're gonna sit here.
Where are the swords, by the way? Did they ever say?
No. Yeah.
Why are the swords stashed elsewhere?
No, I get that because they're supposedly really special, but like genuinely, we don't know if they all blew up because the house blows up. We don't know if they all blew up. We don't know if they got the other swords, if they're just out there.
Yeah.
If they get taken away with the one survivor, we don't know what happens to those swords. But
so the main villain attacks the family. The brother comes out of his room.
Yeah, because the reason this starts is actually so genuinely stupid. It's like, I get things happen, but it's like, if someone just told this kid not to be an idiot for 10 more seconds, they would all still be alive right now.
Yeah.
But basically what happens is the son, who I was saying is just jamming out on headphones, his little sister comes walking into the house after the bad guy, and he literally doesn't realize that like a straight up menace is currently, like threatening his parents and having his mom take him to their family's prized jewels. And so he jumps out to try and be like, boo, to his sister. And the bad guy literally just like turns into like tomahawk.
Which is just so crazy.
And
I don't know, bro.
Makes the mom freak out. She grabs the knife out of the table, tries to kill the bad guy, getting herself and her husband killed. And I forget why he even spared the daughter.
I think because he's not above killing children. We saw that later.
He definitely kills kids. I don't know why he spares her.
The house blew up, I think, because remember the dad pressed the detonator button and it blew up their ship, so they couldn't leave.
Got blown up. The house got blown up.
Yeah, so they couldn't leave the
planet
because their ship got exploded.
I don't remember. I thought he saw her though.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, he did see her, but he didn't kill her for some reason. Do I remember not why? I don't know.
Like, can I even trust these guys' takes? They don't even remember. But
it doesn't. You don't care enough by the end of the film. You don't care enough.
Like, we don't like this family. It's cool. We got this scene with them, but it's like, it's how at the start of a horror movie you see some random guy and they do something really stupid and they die, and you don't actually really care.
Yes.
That's what these guys were like.
Yep.
It's like, these are people that, like, why would you commit them to memory?
So she goes and buries her family, and she goes to a dive bar to get help.
Yes, she takes apparently one of these uber valuable swords.
There's multiple, by the way, but only one's in the film.
Yeah, so she runs to this random dive bar where she's genuinely just has a cosmic stroke of luck that Supergirl happens to be there.
Yes.
And she's like,
there's so many plot conveniences in this film.
Yeah.
Holy.
And it's like, I can do you went to the right bar with the right person kind of thing. Sure, that's how any movie that stars an alcoholic is going to start that way. It's going to be the right person walks into their bar and they're going to be I'm not that guy. I'm just this sad wallowing sack of and they're going to eventually be the hero. But yeah, she goes in there and she's all like, oh, my good and honorable family, they were killed by this terrible guy. I have this sword of his. This is the part where I mentioned, she introduced her dad's name and everyone turns around because she mentioned his swords.
So her dad's name carries weight, which you would assume his death would maybe travel faster than she could walk to the dive bar. Because, there was an explosion at the house.
Or even say she makes it to the dive bar first. Like, once she says this, okay, people around the planet are going to be like, they killed that guy? Maybe you might get, like, some people out for revenge or at least some people commonly mourning with her or something.
So the father's name holds weight. We don't know why. We never learn. I don't think the DCU is ever going to spin back to this.
Highly doubt it.
We just don't know.
Again,
he's just a guy that's
I just assume that this sword is just
he's a legendary blacksmith, and he makes legendary swords, and she's carrying it in her little 13-year-old arms. And
I think she had like some type of like sheath or whatever.
Yeah, right. She's moving like Zelda.
Which like it fit on her back with no issue. Like it didn't even seem like it was a big sword for her.
Yeah.
Like, are you making child-sized weapons? Anyway.
She's like a Link build.
Maybe it was a short sword.
She's built like Link, low key. It's just like it just sucks because she doesn't do anything the whole movie, man. Like, okay, so she goes to this bar. cool. She gets her sword taken because some big dude just literally walked up and just
You know, obviously, like I said, these swords are very important, at least supposedly. So, she's like, I'll give you this sword if you know, like, take me to this guy. I'll use the sword to kill him, and then you can have it. Just help me do this.
Yeah.
And he walks up to her. He yells in her face, an alien, takes the sword, and walks out of the bar.
And
Supergirl doesn't appreciate this, but she still have drunk. So she goes out there and she's like, hey, man, why don't you give her back her sword very drunkenly? And he says in Alien that she talks too much. So she, like, starts the fight or whatever.
Loki slimes him.
Yeah, she like he's like getting on this alien horse thing
with no powers. We're on a red planet now. So one thing that this film does that really pisses me off is that there's different districts in space depending on what sun you're orbiting, and they're all different color, and it doesn't matter to anyone except for the main character. Everyone else is completely fine. Like but it affects Kryptonians like they're like plants. Like they just like whatever sunlight they're getting, that just dictates their whole vibe for the day. So she decides to be on these red planets because she likes eating drunk and it nerfs her. So this is the only reason she's on a red planet.
You know, however, under a yellow sun.
In a galaxy that's so hostile and there's so many different characters moving around, why would you be in a place that you're intentionally vulnerable in, especially if you're one of the last members of your species?
And the nearest one is literally hundreds of miles away on Earth fighting his own battles. As a Superman, we know aren't quite so easy.
Yes.
He even says himself, I could have used your help on that last one. Watching it, he could have.
And her motivation is that she just gets the whiskey hits harder. Get some stronger whiskey and go to a yellow sun planet, please. I'm begging you. Anyway.
But I'm not even like I'll give it that, like, that's a good way to kind of raise the stakes, because the problem with Superman is often that he's too powerful.
Yes.
But they take it to a little bit of a crazy stretch.
They need to introduce something that is not kryptonite or sunlight that nerfs these characters or brings them down to a scale but the problem is you can't really power scale them even at their strongest, because there's always something going on in these films that makes them not as strong. And so it's like, how strong is she really? That's very inconsistent throughout this film. How strong is Superman? That's inconsistent throughout his film. That was one of my gripes with it. When we get stuck in that,
it's a better take on his powers, though.
Yes,
I think
if he's still vulnerable, if they're still vulnerable,
because like Corn Sweat Superman feels like he's definitely the strongest guy on Earth, but he's not invincible. Like if the rest of the heroes or something decide to jump him, if someone comes with a good plan, they can take him down.
Yes, and I don't hate that.
9 times out of 10, that doesn't actually.
I don't hate that take. I don't hate that take, because him being like in Zack Snyder's verse, where he's literally just invulnerable.
He just walks in, clear as Steppenwolf, and the whole Justice League is like, why are we even here?
Exactly.
Like honestly, if I was any other member of the Justice League, I'd be having like an existential crisis.
Yeah. So I don't hate that they're nerfing the super people in this universe and then making people that can hang. I like that.
And the thing is, it's like I feel like the kind of a sweet spot here would have been, and like I get it, you can't focus on every other species that shows up because it's space, but like the funny thing is, in DC Comics, Kryptonians aren't the only species that works like this. There's a couple of basically just diet Kryptonians too, but like a Starfire species, the Tamaranians, their powers are actually also drawn from suns. Now I don't think there's any suns where they lose their powers, but they intensify under different suns. That's their source. Yada yada yada. And so honestly, like I think a good twist here could have, well not twist, but a good way about this could have been having this girl whose family are killed. Because this alien guy is actually like, he's not Kryptonian strong, but he's a very powerful alien or whatever. Sure, he's strong. But they could have easily just had her be one of those species, maybe like a Tamaranian or something like that, where it's like, yeah, she's got powers too. So you see her power maybe fluctuate. You know, maybe on a yellow sun planet she can actually hold her own. Red sun planet she's pretty much a victim, where Supergirl has to take a more like bounty hunter style approach, being real clever and tactical, and then yellow sun she's just walking around smacking people. But that doesn't happen.
Another thing that really, really gripes me when it comes to this film is that everyone and their mother knows about the sun thing for Kryptonians specifically.
Despite
I don't know
being
why.
Two in the universe, and like all of Krypton didn't know about this except for Jor-El, and I'm forgetting Kara's dad's name. I've always forgotten his name. Is it Jor-El and Zor-El? Whatever. Basically, Kara's dad and Kal's dad, Clark's dad, are the only ones who know about what the yellow sun will do to their kids. Hence, they send their kids to Earth. Which now that I think about it, that is crazy. They sent them both to Earth with two very opposite visions. Like they were setting their kids up for a death match in the future, and I don't think they realized that.
It was very sure, man.
Yet another kind of there. I think maybe that's the contradiction I was thinking about.
Also, anyway. don't send his cousin. Send anyone that's not his cousin, and they can just start like a little like family thing over there.
Yeah, send anyone who it wouldn't be gross with, and you could actually like have some hope for the Kryptonian species in the future, especially because they'll all grow up under a yellow sun. But like for power scaling reasons, we're just not gonna do that.
Yeah, whatever. Sure, man. So, where were we? So yeah, dive bar scene, cool. After that, they go and she's reluctant to help the little girl because she's a nice person and everything like that. Her mom told her to be a nice person because she left Krypton as an old, like 13 years old or something like that. She was like a little older.
Honestly, I think she looked like mid to late teens.
Yeah. She was like maybe 13 to 15, maybe 16. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, she looked a little older.
She didn't look much younger than in the movie, so she was probably like late teens.
Yeah. So she understands things. She wanted to die with her parents, but they didn't want that. They're saying, okay, you don't have to be like the best person in the world, but be a good person, do good things. Cool.
Yeah, just stand up for people. Like basically, she kind of has like the it's actually kind of cool that she canonically has the whole vision that Superman thought he had in his movie. You know how he thought that his parents sent him to Earth to protect people, to do this and that. That's what her parents were actually like, go there and look, you don't have to be great, you don't have to be nice all the time, but just be good, stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. Where Superman's dad was a friggin' nut job. Our vision of Krypton we get in this movie actually shows that like Kryptonians didn't even think like this. He was just freaking insane. And he was, Clark was sent with the intention of conquering the planet, and thank goodness he didn't.
Yeah, right. So, with that being said, she decides to help the little girl. And then I want to say that is when they go try to find him, and then he takes their ship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So basically, this girl's trying to argue Supergirl into coming to help her, and she keeps saying no. And so this is when the bad guy has to kind of force things to progress.
Specifically her ship?
Yeah.
Out of all the ships in the yard, it's like a parking lot of ships, and they just walk onto hers.
The main antagonist just walks up behind Supergirl's ship and is like he's got one of his guys with him. And I'm not going to lie, the thinking back to this scene, it kind of made me realize the villain of this movie is literally just a frat boy, but if, like, killing people was his version of, like, sleeping with girls. Like, that's what you're bragging about. Because he literally walks up, or, like, committing crimes and killing people. But he walks up, and he sees the ship, and they're, because the thing is, their ship got blown up and terrorizing the little girl's home. So one of his guys is saying something to him, like, what are we going to do next, or whatever. And he's like, oh, and he just steps into it, and he's like, hey, check out my new ship. Because, they're going to steal the ship.
Yeah. Because she left the keys in the ship. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how that
But
works.
basically, they're going to take her ship that she has been basically living out of. So,
and
like,
mind you, this is like the only time she's like left the ship this whole scene. She just walks out.
Just because this little
5
girl
seconds
got her
after
to
she
walk out of there because actually I don't know why.
I don't know. They just walked outside.
But yeah, basically they're outside.
Very convenient.
Krypto is with them, and I'm sure you guys have probably seen in the trailer. Basically, excuse me. Krypto doubles back when he hears them, rummaging around in the ship. He goes being a dog, barking at him, running them down. The dude just pulls out some gun, shoots him with a dart. Krypto goes down. Supergirl's not happy. They fly away.
So it's a poison dart that has paralyzing effects.
It's like this paralytic poison or whatever. I don't remember the word for it, but paralysis-inducing poison.
And they use it traditionally to the pirates
these bad guys.
They use it to like torture people.
His name is Krem.
Yeah,
that's his name.
Krem. Krem. Yeah,
I remember because I think of the Kremlings from friggin' Nintendo. But
anyway. Krem and his Kremlings. But so they use it to like torture people. They like stick you with the poison. They have the antidote.
Because it'll eventually paralyze your heart and you'll die.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a progressive paralysis, and they use it to get people like information out of people or treasure or whatever, But they didn't use it with the guy, the dad, the family.
No,
they just slimed them.
That probably would have been a good idea to actually get those swords, especially since they're supposedly so valuable.
Yeah.
But
so basically, they poison them. They're the only ones that have the antidote.
Yep. They carry it on their bodies.
So it's eventually going to kill Krypto, who's gotten shot by this poison. And so that is actually not her being a good person, but
she literally tells the girl like, "Look, I'm not trying to help you eventually."
That's her motivation.
Her kind of like thing this whole movie is, I'm not gonna let you kill him because it'll mess up who you are as a person. And then she's like, all right, fine.
Which is like not her like she has no problem killing people.
Yeah, no, she kills.
She's a very like murderous hero.
Yeah, and it's like I don't mind that because
I don't hate it.
That's pretty more accurate, Supergirl. But it's
then why are you having reservations about people following your path?
Or like even then, it's like say you don't want this girl to kill him because again we're at the spoiler section, so hey, you've come here on purpose. By the end of the movie, she kills this guy obviously.
Yes.
And so it's like if you planned on killing this guy. Why are you telling her, killing him's not going to do this for you, yada, yada, yada?
Yeah, and so you just kill him.
On killing him yourself. You could just say, you're going to come along. You're not going to kill him. I'm going to take him down. We're going to get my dog back.
Yes.
It'll be whatever.
Yes.
And just kill him while she's not looking like she did.
Yes.
But she makes this whole point of, you're not going to kill him because that's going to do
terrible things. With the girl not
to
killing him in the end, what was the point of her being there? She had her sword.
Yeah, like literally. And the worst part is, as they leave after all this, you know, they're friends now, because Supergirl's been like rejecting her all movie, and now because she's changed, they're friends. She kind of like tells her, like, it just casually comes up that this little girl had an aunt all along.
Yeah, she could have just got her sword.
She could have left her with the aunt.
Made her peace with not killing bro because she wasn't going to do it anyway.
And pick the kid up like, hey, he's dead. I did it.
I guess the whole point was that she was supposed to have the option to kill her or not. And Supergirl said she's not going to stop her. So if she wants to make, I guess that the little girl had a better arc than Supergirl by the end of the movie. Holy.
But like, she's not an interesting character. I didn't come here for her arc.
They weren't, bro. None of the characters were interesting except for Lobo, and it's because he just didn't care. Lobo cared as much as I cared. He was there to slime people and have fun. I was there to watch him slime people and have fun. I mean, we had the same. Whenever Lobo was on screen, I was having a blast.
Lobo's just another me for real.
He's just like me for real. I can't lie. Because the other parts of this film,
I do enjoy how half of Lobo's lines were him just telling other people to shut up.
Yes, the universe building that this film does is a snooze fest. It's not really interesting. It does not connect to Superman in any way, aside from the flashbacks that we get of Krypton. But that doesn't really have anything to do with Superman because he left when he was a child anyway, so it has no impact on him whatsoever.
It makes like the Krypton lore in Superman a little bit retroactively worse if you ask
Yes,
me.
it does. Yeah, it low-key makes, and it's for other reasons. We'll get to that later once we get to that part. But okay, so the dude, Cram steals her ship, cool, and then they go chase after him, and
basically
on a bus.
She hops on a space bus stop, which I'm not gonna lie, this is actually kind
of
funny to me.
This is actually the funny
like this space bus pulls up, and it's this rickety old ship that barely is like able to get up and all like leave off of planets and fly around and whatnot. And they jump on there, and there's this.
She took the city bus. Yeah.
Exactly. There's this. Honestly, she gets the public transit experience. I'm not gonna lie. There's
a guy throwing up in the corner.
Exactly, dude throwing up. This one dude's like hotboxing his brain. Like he's hitting his bong, and he's whatever type of species he is. He has holes in his head where the smoke comes back out. So like this whole bus is catching the most lethal secondhand.
His granny got hit by a bazooka, bro. He's in the hookah, man.
Like I'm not gonna lie, it was actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
This little scene here.
I like that scene. That was very James Gunn.
Exactly,
it was very Guardians-esque. Yes. And the aliens were cool, and they had unique ideas.
Really good. Like there's really good alien design throughout this movie. It's just a shame that all the important ones are just kind of generic people-looking aliens.
Yes.
And and it's like Krem, for example, like his guys. I get it. Their whole thing is these metal things in their face, but that looked genuinely terrible. Like maybe that's again, it could just be that that's just not an aesthetic I like. Some people could think that looks really cool. It's not like it was poorly done.
He did look good as a villain. He looked like a villain. He looked like a villain. He looked like a pirate Viking, kind of space Viking kind of thing. That looked. It worked. I think it worked. His guys were big and they looked imposing and they were strong. So I didn't. But anyway,
like imagine a band of like space Mad Max characters just running around.
That's what it felt. Yes, that's what it felt like, and it was cool. I thought it was cool. They had cool vehicles and stuff like that. Anyway, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're on the bus scene. So there's
basically this other random faction of pirates show up
Space
who are
Raiders.
also actually kind of badass.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
They have like this like digital teleporting tech that just beams them inside of the ship.
Yeah, instant transmission. With a button.
Exactly. Like their ship pulls up above it, tractor beams them in place. Seth Rogen is like this tiny little alien who's like criticizing the bus.
One of my favorite parts of the film, by the way.
Yeah,
man.
Seth Rogen was actually pretty good for his
little cameo, but it was fun.
He's criticizing this guy or whatever.
Yep.
These little like teleporting space pirates show up.
Yeah. So what do they steal?
Just a bunch of stuff, really.
Yeah.
They went for what basically the important part is because they robbed some random people, but no one cares. They went for Supergirl's watch, which she
got from her parents.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like it had like Crypto's picture and then the timer that she put because I forgot to mention Crypto's got 3 days to live. She put a little timer on Crypto's life there, and they basically argue her down out of that, and she like fakes a little resistance. Yeah. And basically, like getting it snatched from her, she actually gets in and snatches a little teleport device.
Yeah, the little button. Yeah.
Or no, I think it was when the little girl's sword got snatched.
Yeah. She like swapped it out. They snatched the sword. Yeah. And she like tried to like grab it, and then she like
handed over her.
She little sleight of handed it. Yeah. It was cool. It was smart. It was a smart little move. Yeah.
Got the teleporter.
It shows that the character is resourceful in a pinch. Yeah. She knows she's been around the block a little bit. She's got some street cred. Yeah. She's like, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. She does this. Okay. So cool.
She knew her ball because she knew all the space stuff that was out here.
She knows about these raider guys. She knows what they want. She's not green to this stuff, right? She's been around the block a little bit.
Not new to this.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. So, and this is completely opposite to Superman's character, where he's kind of green, and I like that. I think that's a good dynamic between the two characters. She knows a little more. He's more of a Boy Scout, and they talk about this in the film as well.
Despite her being like 10 years younger than him, she's already jaded.
Yes, He's never been traumatized.
Yeah,
he's really
she makes these remarks that like he's naive and his heart is young, even though he's older and all this. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so they kind of the two main characters kind of bond over that, where they both kind of experience loss. And okay, anyway, so the
space pirates,
the space pirate guys,
like we said, they snatched up the sword,
and then they start getting Looney Tunes beat with their own tech.
Yeah, because like I said, she grabbed this teleporter and she like. Her first couple of uses of it are, funny, quirky little accidents. She like teleports, slams herself up into the freaking upper part of the bus and falls in some random.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to use it at first.
Teleports another time, and I think like while her and this alien chick are like punching each other out, she accidentally rocks some dude who's just sitting on the bus, and then she lands in his lap, and he's just sitting there like, why do I have to suffer this?
Was it the hookah guy?
No, not even. Okay. That's the worst part. It wasn't even the hookah guy. Like this dude's like being a jerk because she's like, hey, can you stop that because we're all getting like. Boomed with this stuff you're smoking, and he refuses. And there's this dude who looks like a giant nutsack who's leaning on her, and like he's a whole jerk to her. But this actual random guy who just his crime was that he's just on this bus, so he gets rocked and sat on and rocked again, and then the fight continues. And
so she ends up losing that fight.
Yeah, so they
because they're in an area where there's a red sun. There's no sun, really.
Well, yellow sun was on the other side of this planet. Basically,
we'll get to that later. We'll get
they
to
hit
that
some
later.
Looney Tunes teleports. She like two of these girls.
So she does not have her powers during this fight.
Yeah, she has no powers here. Two of these girls trying to rob this space bus. They basically run at her, and she teleports, and they just slam into each other.
Which is like, okay, she has the thing. She's gonna use the thing. Whatever. And it's like you're okay. Whatever. I don't know.
But basically, we kind of get
they
towards
beat her
the
up.
part where
they put her in an airlock.
Yeah, one of them they threw her in like. Wasn't it like I think it was like a toilet on the freaking bus originally?
Yeah.
But it's also got a freaking airlock.
Yeah,
but
And I think it's the entrance door.
Oh yeah,
it's when you walk on. Yeah, it's when you walk on.
There's like it's like a little room and then the entrance to the bus.
There's like you walk onto the bus, there's an airlock, and then you can walk into the actual bus. Yeah.
So she's in there and she turns towards Seth Rogen's. Who I'm calling him Alan the Alien. I don't care. He's an alien.
He's like a little dude. He's like a little dude.
Yeah, he's just a little dude though. So Alan the other alien.
Yeah, that was their product placement. They got sold toys.
No, seriously, dude is a walking, talking toy. He actually kind of looked like Gray Matter from Ben 10. Did you even watch Ben 10?
I've seen a couple episodes. Okay, good. Okay, I know.
Because I'm like, if you didn't know Ben 10, I was kicking you off the podcast.
But, so he's hilarious. She asks her for help. She's like, and at this point, the pirates have already stolen their engine and all their fuel and everything.
The planet they're hovering over has a yellow sun, but it's like it's not coming around the horizon.
It's behind the planet.
It's behind the planet. She can't see it yet. She's not getting any energy. And she's like, "Is that a yellow sun over there?" And he's like, "Yeah." Or like, "Where's the closest yellow sun?" And she's like, "Could you please get us a little closer?" And the dude's like, because I think these pirates they did actually start like dismantling the ship. At this point.
They did.
So
this joke actually
Alan
made me
the
laugh.
other alien is like. Well, yeah, I would if I had an engine or balls, but I don't have either of those, so no.
Yes, it was that was a great joke. The way it was delivered was great. It was a great joke.
And like she's just like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. So she puts on a spacesuit. Yeah. And she's just gonna jump. She's just gonna jump off.
I have no idea.
I don't know what her plan was. Bro.
I think her plan was what they did to her because like then one of the space pirate girls walks over there because she sees them talking back and forth, and she's like, you know what? Boom, pulls the airlock. Yeah, fucking Supergirl gets launched out into space.
So she's like literally out there suffocating because she doesn't have her powers at this point.
She's freezing solid.
Yes.
I don't
conveniently the fastest sunrise of all time occurs.
Indeed.
Within the span of 10 seconds, the sun rises. The yellow sun is on her skin. She gets her powers back,
thaws out,
and then she just wins because.
And she starts doing what a Kryptonian does when fighting a bunch of normal people in a spaceship. She just starts flexing everybody.
Yeah, so she beats them up and she takes them hostage in the thing, and then she flies the little bus.
She literally takes the bus on her hand and flies it back to where it's got to go.
Yep. And that's like, okay, fine and dandy, sure, we won. All right, great, save the day. And then
honestly,
she like
what even important happened at this part before?
So apparently the space pirate people know where the Kremlins are.
Right. I forgot. She
for
goes
some
back
reason
on the bus and interrogates these guys.
Yeah.
Hey man, all pirates gotta know each other, I guess.
Yeah, like. All right, bro. So I just know where all the other crime syndicates are and where they hang out.
Like,
sure, bro. Sure.
It's like a criminal thing, but yeah,
sure,
it's like
yeah,
they knew
sure,
like
bro.
exactly where
that's how you're living.
And
whatever.
Apparently this like quote unquote dead planet. Supergirl even stops. She's like, "Nice try. I know that's a dead planet." And they're like, "Well, it's just alive enough that they can hang out there, hide there, whatever." And that's where they go, and they drop the lore that this species, they apparently only birth males. So how they reproduce is by abducting women of other species in order to give them more children.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that.
They never explain it, and I'm like, I
was that just like
I got nothing. Honestly,
what was the point of writing that in?
Yeah, because it's like that. Like, other than them having to save a bunch of girls in the finale and, like, a couple other
other than making the villains, like, cartoonishly evil
and saving a bunch of girls, that served no purpose. Because I definitely was thinking, I don't know, I thought something was going to come of that. In all honesty, I thought that it was going to kind of be this thing throughout the movie where, like, the villain is like, I'm going to take you and, like, make you have my kids or something like that, which is also very disturbed.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's like...
They didn't do any of that, though. They just kind of just made it a thing. It just
turns out that every civilian they save from these guys is going to be a girl, and every villain in the movie is going to be a guy. I definitely I don't know.
That was weird. That was just weird.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, I think if these guys were like, nothing would have been lost in this movie if they were just a male female species, human traffickers, because or
even not even that
traffickers because that's what they do because they're bad, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that was kind of
it could have been anything. It didn't have to be that.
Yeah, they could have like I don't know. Like, and it's like I get what they're
It was just
honestly,
weird. It was just weird. It was really just weird.
It definitely feels like one of those generic.
They could have had like a home planet where like they have like people, and then they're just like they're like the pirate faction of that planet.
Easily could have been like the rest of their species.
That would have made more sense than their whole species being on this one ship.
Yeah, and also like if they've always survived by snatching up women from other species, like what happened?
They would diversify.
What happened before they discovered interplanetary travel? Because that's some tech they have.
That's also true. Yes.
They don't just have the ability to fly or something.
Yeah,
between
these
planets.
are some silly goose villains.
Like,
I can't lie.
I'm not gonna lie,
and they're as strong as Supergirl.
Well, they're not as strong, but
dude
they are
catches
super
a tank with one hand.
They're super strong, but it's like look at how in the end she ragdolls them.
She was struggling with the two tanks.
Yeah, I think that's
they were sliding down.
Consistent in all honesty, because it's like he caught the tank with no difficulty, then she struggles, so it makes sense he's as strong or stronger. Except she grabs him and literally like plays with this dude like a toy.
Yeah. The power scaling is it's all over the place in this film.
A lot of people got on the Superman movie for like having some weird power scaling. I think it's more so those people just didn't like seeing Superman vulnerable.
Yeah. In this movie, Supergirl is as strong as the plot needs her to be or not to be.
And honestly, I feel like so is the little girl here because it's like in some scenes she gets a little girl watching action. In other scenes, she jumps on these space pirates who are trading punches with Supergirl. She jumps on their backs and is like choking them out and slamming them on shit.
We'll get there. Okay, so at this point, she's trying to find the Kremlins or whatever, and I'm just gonna call them that because they don't deserve for me to even remember what their name is because they suck.
Most of the things in this movie absolutely do just deserve the kind of generic treatment.
It's Krem and his Kremlins. Okay, that's what we're gonna call them.
Hold on, what was they were actually called like the Brigands, I think, which is also a very generic name. But whatever.
I don't care. No, you're not gonna care in 5 years. No. This is not an evergreen film.
Days.
Yeah, this is not an evergreen film. This film is gonna be forgotten in the next 2 to 3 years. And whenever the next DCU film comes out, or if this is the reason the DCU kind of peters out, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because like I'm not gonna lie, after this movie,
they need
the internet is not charitable.
Yeah,
they're gonna say that Superman was a fluke and that this is just not gonna be a good set of movies.
Yes,
that's
I think so. I think this if Clayface isn't good going forward,
right? I forgot they've got Clayface, so they've got to bounce back hard.
That's a show, no, or is that a movie?
I believe it's a movie.
Okay, yeah. So if Clayface needs to be a hit, man.
Yeah, they've got to bounce back hard with Clayface.
They need
and do some fucking world building.
And Batman better be in that film.
I don't know if they can do that. Well, I don't know.
You're right, they can't. But then it's like, dude, we're getting another
it could be like a Hulk Universal Marvel situation where it's like Disney can use him in movies, but they can't make a solo Hulk movie. But I think it's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be like Joker, where it's just Clayface origin story. He's the star of the movie.
You know that meme where like the guy's like he pulls off his headset. He's like,
yep.
That's absolutely. Where I'm at right now, bro. That's where I'm at right now.
I'm not gonna
brother.
Lie. That's kind of how the DC.
They're stalling in a race right now. They're racing against a slug and they're losing. Like, it's bad, bro. Anyway, okay, so.
I don't know if I've mentioned this several times. I think they should have gone straight to a Wonder Woman movie. I know we're all kind of probably bitter about Wonder Woman right now. I'm not personally. I separate actors from
They just
roles
need
in movies, but we're all kind of bitter right
also,
now.
Gal Gadot's not a good actor.
No.
She's not a good actress.
No, that name is worth nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have gone to Wonder Woman because she'd be a great place to do some world building on Earth. But that's not what happened, and that's why we're here to talk about this.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going from where we were in the story. So, we're at the part where were we at?
right before, she interrogated those girls to find out.
Interrogated.
Yeah. One more thing. Yeah, I literally feel like the whole detail that the brigands, the Kremlings, whatever we're gonna call them, space pirates, that they are all males and they kidnap women to reproduce. I feel like that was literally just done.
Stuff.
Just to emphasize
to make them
that this
evil.
is a female-led movie. Those men are very bad.
And they do stuff in the film to show that they're evil without that being a thing anyway.
Yeah, like they do plenty enough of just needless evil.
So that was just dumb. Whatever. Anyway,
it gives the vibes of like how and like I'm not. It was. I feel like it was. I don't know. It was kind of like. I have mixed feelings about it because I can see how it was kind of just a generic thing. Like, sure, make the villain also sexist, but also like for the Black Widow movie. I'm gonna get to my point now. How the villain is like. His whole thing is to keep exploiting young women, and then he's like talking to Black Widow, and he says the one natural resource this world has too much of, girls. Like, and it's like, on the one hand, I get it. You know, like this whole movie is about the exploitation and abuse of young women.
Right.
But on the other hand, it does feel like that one might have been a little bit
on the nose, on the nose. But like, I don't know. You can, if you're a good writer, you explain things about your villains and their motivations subtly.
Yeah.
You don't just go, I hate women, and now you're bad. Like, I don't know, bro. It just stinks. You know what I mean? It really feels like the writers just called it in. Anyway, okay, so.
It's like the Kremlings here would have been more than bad enough because they will not miss an opportunity to hurt someone or break something.
Exactly.
Like, I swear, I'm watching the movie. They never, not even one of them. There's not even like the one good one. No.
Yeah.
There's not even the one chill one except for maybe one, but he gets lasered off screen before he can prove he's good or not.
And they don't even seem particularly interested in reproducing at this point anyway. So what are we stealing the women for?
Because
like,
I'm like, again, I expected and like, I know that'd be like kind of.
There's not like children Kremlins around that they're like teaching. Yeah. There's not like a generational thing. It's like, and they supposedly do this all the time. Mm-hmm. So where are the kids?
This is literally how they reproduce. This is how they still have a species.
They're all grown.
Yeah.
It's just weird, man. Anyway, so we get to a point where she goes to this family to like figure out where they are because she gets a tip.
But first, Lobo introduction. She goes to this random little bar. She's asking people around if they know about the brigands. The little girl insists that she do the talking, despite her knowing zero things. And she gives this exact, like, word-for-word spiel that she gave at the bar. My good and honorable family, they were killed. This guy needs to pay. Does anyone know where he is? And to the surprise of absolutely no one, she gets shut down and bullied again.
Yep.
And Supergirl jumps.
It's almost like she doesn't learn.
Yep.
And it's just like if you're trying to make a film that like kind of expresses a good female like lead and a good female co-lead, like why not give them an arc or have them learn from their mistakes
or
like
be like strong characters.
And like the girl's not stupid.
No, that's the weird thing. She alternates between like pretty smart to an absolute idiot very quickly. And it's like
she oscillates.
She's a child, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like it kind of does just feel like the characters are on strings for the plot's sake.
Agreed. Anyway, good.
Yeah, so she's like trying to do all the talking. Mm-hmm. Obviously that doesn't work. Supergirl actually strikes a bargain with this guy because he wants to grab the girl and of course also sell her into human trafficking or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, here, you arm wrestle me. They're on a yellow planet now, yellow sun planet. Mm-hmm. So she's going to win. Mm-hmm. You arm wrestle me, you get us both.
Yep.
You if I win, you're gonna tell us where these guys are.
Yep.
She's gonna win, except this even bigger, even uglier alien kicks that guy out of the shot, and he sits down and he's like, "I'm taking your deal."
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. She breaks his arm wrestling him.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't even arm wrestle. She just goes.
Yeah, she literally just breaks his arm in half. Yeah. And he's crying. They all surround her.
So she gets tons of guns pulled on her. She sits the girl to the side.
And this is the scene where they put. Oh, she's like, "Oh, go put the girl in the corner."
Table I have ever seen in front of that girl, and it's like, "You'll be safe."
Yeah.
And like these guys.
And the camera follows the little girl, man.
Yeah.
It's
you
like,
see,
what are we doing?
You see Supergirl throw like maybe 4 hits.
Yes,
and you're just watching the girl just be like.
Yeah, with the camera sitting there, it's panned on a little girl sitting in the corner. In the background, Supergirl is just kicking major ass, like just whooping them all, and you don't get to see any of it. And then for some reason,
there's a random shot of Lobo in the corner.
Yeah,
like
Lobo's in the corner. Yeah, he's got a hood on though, so you can't tell who it is. It's like a big reveal, whatever. Cool. So she beats them all up. They get out, tail between her legs. Cool. And then Lobo gets up after all the fighting. Mind you, he loves fighting, so why would he not join in? Whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
Right. You actually probably would have liked to jump in on that.
Yes.
But anyway. They get up. There's a family who runs this bar. They're actually pretty chill people.
Yeah.
Supergirl. Oh no, they set up a table, and Supergirl. And it's like one more thing, because I don't want to seem like I'm just like we're just crapping on this movie, but like Supergirl's not a terrible person.
No.
She even is like It's interesting. She kind of like goes from like almost like David Cornsweat Superman, like this kind of politeness she's got. Like she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Like I'll help clean up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because like she she's going through a lot. You know,
Yeah.
her dog is dying. She started this movie off as an alcoholic coping with the death of her planet. You know, she's not in a good place.
An
she
orphan
kind of,
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, she like has like moments of like she
actually knew her
lashes
parents
out.
too.
Yeah, exactly. Like she lashes out, but she's not a terrible person. She's actually pretty chill between those moments. She's never like crossing the line to like Captain Marvel territory of just being a straight up jerk to the people around her.
Right.
But she is a jerk to people who start things with her, which fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in the region of space where people get killed over having a nice sword, or people just snatch up. Like literally, this dude like is aggressively grabbing this girl's chair and pulling it towards him because he wants to sell her into sex slavery.
Mind you, this sword has now lost all plot relevance. It will not come back up.
Yeah, no, this sword doesn't matter anymore.
That's the whole movie was started by the sword.
Literally, like
after this point,
girl's
no
family
one
would
ever
still be
looks at
alive
it
if
again.
That guy didn't make those swords.
Yeah,
but
the girl never uses it either. I don't know, man.
No, not really.
It's just like
I'm trying to think, did she even cut anything?
No.
Anyway, but yeah, she's talking to these guys. Lobo gets up and he goes to ask these guys about another one of Crem's crew, and the little girl wants to get up and be like, oh, because you know Lobo's got a job to kill this guy or whatever. And she wants to be like, oh, let's go ask him about him. You know, we can work with him to go find them. And Supergirl's like, no, that guy's a nut job. He's immortal.
Yes.
He killed his whole planet.
Yes.
You don't talk to him. Don't even make eye contact.
Yes.
You sit here and be quiet.
Yeah.
And eventually I will do the talking when he is gone. And
also, Lobo killed his whole planet. They just slid that in there.
Yeah, that's part of his lore. I forget if it's ever elaborated why he did that, but genuinely, Lobo did kill his entire planet. He's the last one left.
I don't not believe that, but like he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would do that in this film.
If I'm not mistaken, it might have been on a whim. I forget if there's a deep lore reason, but that's the thing of his in comics. He did in fact kill his entire species.
No,
himself.
it's just this version of Lobo does not feel like he's like a menace. But sure.
Oh no.
He seems like a chill guy. Honestly,
this is very lore accurate Lobo.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even change him much. Like he's the kind of guy who he will just do crap off of a whim. Yeah. He's not the worst of dudes, but he's a pretty terrible guy. But it's like it's mostly just whims with him. I wouldn't be surprised if I forget. I feel like it came up at one point in comics, but I think he actually just didn't like the vibe of the rest of his species and just got rid of him. Like he just did it.
Yeah, I have very limited Lobo exposure in any other media. This is like my
apologies
first.
if I'm incorrect and there is a deep and tragic lore reason.
I'm sure.
So please do inform us.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't bully us too much. Don't call us stupid.
You can bully
it hurts
me.
my feelings. Yeah, him actually. He likes that. He gets into that. So. Just know if you're gonna call someone stupid, just know what you're fueling.
Okay, so yeah, we're at the Lobo thing. He like chokes her and throws her down or something.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, Lobo, not because he choked this girl and threw her down, but he steals the show here and he kind of immediately makes himself awesome because he has this family here. Like about this guy, and they're like, no, we don't know any Kremlings.
Kremlings, bro. I got you, bro.
I'm not gonna
now you're calling them Kremlings. It's lucky better. It's lucky better,
bro. It's better. But anyway, they're like, we don't know these guys. We don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? Because I saw one in here. Are you calling me a liar? And the dude's like, no. And then the dude, Lobo, is like, well, I am one, but I'm not lying about this. So where is he?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Every time Jason Momoa's on screen, the movie gets 10 times better. He's literally a delight to be on. Like he's just
good, man.
He's just such a great actor, and he just brings so much energy to the film, and it feels like the rest of the film is snoozing until he's on screen, and then you just wake back up and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I don't.
And literally then he leaves and you're like, oh.
and then he leaves. He's not off screen anymore. You're like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Now I gotta go back to watching Supergirl.
Like I feel like I was like giving this movie. I was trying to give this movie some slack, but I can't pretend that when you came on screen, the smile lit up, and every time you walked off screen, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I hope he comes back soon.
If this movie had like 90% more of Jason Momoa in it, I think I would have a better time.
I would have taken like a good cop, bad cop adventure between Supergirl and Jason Momoa's Lobo.
Yeah, the little girl just really was out of place in this film. She didn't have anything to do. She was always being saved. It was just like she was like a little like MacGuffin for Supergirl to say. Yeah, and then she'd go back to being capable, and then not. It was just like I don't know, man. Anyway, okay, so we're at the point. In the bar.
And I know, like, Supergirl, like, what I just said probably sounds weird because I was saying Supergirl's interesting because she's not the good cop, she's not her cousin. But when you're next to Lobo, a lot of people find themselves becoming the good cop by comparison.
That's valid.
And she easily fits in that category. Like I said, she's trying to politely, like, apologize for messing up people's bar because she broke some dude's arm for trying to sell her into sex slavery.
Yeah. One gripe I had with this film is that Lobo looked a little funny. His abs were fake for sure. It was Jason Momoa had like on one of those like rubber suits.
Inconsistent, and like I wasn't sure if they were trying to write him so that you know, he looks like that, or he's actually canonically wearing makeup, because sometimes it looked like it was fading off his face.
Yeah.
And it's never really addressed, and it's never like even like kind of visually done clearly to make sure if you know. But you know, it's whatever.
Yeah. Superwoman, Supergirl looks really bad with her like jacket on during the CG.
No.
When they're like CGing her flying around, the jacket looks like a weird little. It looks like Doctor Strange's cape. It's like. Yeah. I don't know, it's just like it's like a trench coat. It looks really weird. Anyway, that's like some of the gripes I had with this film. But anyway, okay. So we're at the bar scene. Cool. Lobo finds out
Lobo
that they know.
walks up because she knows better than Supergirl. She's gonna talk to Lobo. To no one's surprise, she's about to be choked out by Lobo.
Yeah. She gets choke slammed or whatever.
So she like Supergirl. Honestly, again, like I don't even hate Supergirl's character in this movie. She wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But she like slides up under Lobo's arm and like sits up on this. And she like does her preppy Earth Girl voice, and she's like, "Oh my God, like we're from Metropolis in the USA. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
We were doing this trip for my birthday. I feel like I'm doing like."
and then Lobo's like, "Oh shit, happy birthday!"
So she does this whole bit like, you know, we were just trying to find, I forget, but basically she talks Lobo out of breaking this little girl in half.
Yep.
And so he puts her down, and he's like, he just keeps calling them useless. He's like, "You guys were surprisingly useless. I hate this. I got nothing here."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Happy birthday, useless," and kicks down the door and leaves.
Yep.
And it was a pretty funny scene.
Yeah, it was.
So
they go with the people that own the bar.
The family then tells them, like, "We do know where these guys are. We've got a friend who knows them, knows how to reach them." They grab this funny looking alien, but again, great design, honestly. Yeah. But they grab this alien from before the whole big bar fight happened, and basically you talk to him, take Supergirl and little girl back to her house, and you know, they're chilling out there.
So what's their plan? The family.
Oh yeah, their plan is like spoiler. Well, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Territory. But yeah, basically, what they actually plan on doing is bringing Cred here to snatch those two up.
Yeah.
To trade these two for their daughter back, because they have already taken this family's daughter.
So the family lives on the planet that's being like constantly. The Kremlins are constantly coming to their planet.
They just come here.
Yeah, they just snatching up girls. And they've taken the family that owns the bar. They've taken their little girl. So to get that back, they're using the Supergirl and the girl that she's with as a bargaining chips to get their little girl back, which is valid. I'm not saying
honestly,
you know what I'm saying.
I ain't even mad at it.
That's one of the better.
And you're in that situation. That's probably what you're
exactly. And so their method is to poison Supergirl so she's a lot weaker. And then you know, Cram and his goons can come. They tell him to come.
And then he hasn't done much to show us how strong he really is, how bad he is. So I'm not gonna lie, like it's kind of this funny scene where basically, I don't know, I guess Supergirl knew that Milk like counteracted this poison, except
she knows ball.
Except the weird thing is, this is the exact same poison that's in Crypto right now. Why didn't we feed Crypto?
I don't think it is though. I don't think it is.
No, it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they actually explain like, it's the same one. Like it was in the same kind of like thing basically, and like I forget, but you even like see the liquid and it's the same stuff, and she like breaks it down or whatever. Because it was supposed to do the same stuff to Supergirl, but yeah, she's fighting out of her body. Meanwhile, Crypto is like on his deathbed somewhere. I don't know why we didn't just get Crypto milk, but basically, she runs in their fridge, gets some milk, and she's like, "What the heck kind of milk is this?" Like, I was supposed to kind of like break it down. She's not back to herself yet. She's like, they were like, "Wait, why aren't you paralyzed and like falling and just basically done?" And she, you know, obviously because she's Kryptonian, but she didn't tell him that. And they point to this weird little like Jabba the Hutt looking pet they've got, and they're like, "Well, it's milk out of that thing." And yeah, basically this milk semi-recovers her, but she's still in no shape to fight, because like normally it turns out this Creme guy, she could absolutely beat him with both hands tied behind her back and her eyes closed.
Yeah.
But in this state, he's
so she's throwing up. She makes herself throw up. She gets really
She gets knocked down, and she. It's kind of funny as she's like drunk or poisoned or in all these different states of weakness through the movie. She kind of defaults to like, "Give me a second." She actually is like telling her villains like, "Just wait a moment. I need to get it together."
Yeah.
And so she says that to a villain. He obviously doesn't care. He kicks her in the stomach, knocks her into a wall. The wall half collapses. And
she's fun to watch on screen. I'll give her that.
She is.
During her fights and during her little
fights. I think like in her kind of character moments, it's cool. She does have them, but they're less
interesting.
interesting.
When the film tries to get serious, it gets boring instead.
Yeah. When she's being an action hero, she's pretty fun.
I think when she's in her little fights and she's having her, you know, her little chaotic shenanigans with her villains,
when
it's
she's
fun.
either doing the whole, "Oh, hold on, I can't do this bit," or like, "I know I'm going to beat everyone here."
The little girl helps, literally not at all. Didn't she try to kill a guy and then she stops her or something? Or was that later? That was later in the fight when
they
like broke out to the street. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
But basically, what happens is before this, they have a little moment up top where they start to relate, and this is where I think honestly like Supergirl could have probably like I think this it almost made for a better kind of I'm gonna put on the suit moment than the one we actually get, because basically she's her and this little girl are making small talk while they wait, which is suspiciously long because it's a trap. And basically the girl asks about Supergirl's home story, which a lot of plot holes come up from this one. I'm just gonna get to the point I was trying to make here, and then we'll come back around to it. But basically she says, my planet, it didn't go up in smoke in a day, because that's what the girl thought. Basically, Argo City, Supergirl's hometown, they broke off from the planet, except unlike in the comics, Supergirl was not born yet. She's actually not like technically older than Superman.
This retcon is horrible.
Yeah, it actually breaks a lot of things.
Anyway.
But she wasn't born yet. Her father actually made a force field to save Argo City and just take it up off into space while Krypton blows up. They do that, and that's cool. Yep. And then 8 years later on this planet, they have Supergirl, and that's cool. And she grows up, and she's like somewhere in her teenage years when it turns out that doing this, like between the planet exploding and I think maybe some interaction from the force field, but basically the soil in Argo City has become irradiated and it has become kryptonite. Now, it's not like murdering the Kryptonians on sight, but like basically a lot of Kryptonians are pretty much slowly
they're getting radiation sickness or whatever. Exactly. Or like kryptonite sickness, whatever.
Whatever you want to call it when Kryptonians
they're dying slowly. And it's
except
happening,
Supergirl is completely and totally unaffected for some reason. But like apparently if she stays, she will be. And that's why her father sends her to Earth.
Cool. So yeah, let's keep going on with the track we're on. We'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
And when we get to our plot hole section, we're gonna have a nice plot hole section, because holy, this film is like ridiculous sometimes. Anyway,
I think this is actually a really good part of the movie, because it kind of gives us the reason for Supergirl becoming who she is today, because her mom literally is dying and like she's realizing this. And it's actually it's a few cool moments, because first her mom starts dying and the scientists come in and they explain kryptonite, and then her father, who is already starting to die but not nearly as far along as the mom, she's already bedridden. He's like, I found Jor-El's plans, I can send you to Earth and save you. And she's like, no, I would rather stay here and die with you guys than just be sent off to some random planet. I don't want this. And he's like, no, he's being a parent. He's like, she says this line, she's like, I'm just one tiny life. And he's like, you're not just one tiny life, you are I forget how he phrased it, but basically everything of mine, everything of your
you're my mother in my life as well.
Exactly. Like you're everything we've got.
So he wants that to continue on and continue the race.
Exactly. So he says that, but then it comes back to what I think is kind of the kicker here, and like I said, what I think makes Supergirl herself is her mom basically gives her dying wish, and she's like, do one thing for me. You got to promise me this. And Kara does, of course. And she's like, you don't have to be
nice or
she was like, you don't have to be like the greatest, you don't have to be nice all the time, you can be tough, you don't always have to be nice, but promise me that you will be good. Promise me that you will stand up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. And of course Kara says yes. And honestly, like, that's when the seed is planted, and because the actual payoff moment is much weaker, I feel, by comparison, I think this could have basically been when she kind of puts on the suit and resolves herself. I mean, obviously at this point in the movie, not enough time has passed, some things haven't happened yet. I don't even know if the suit is physically around, and plus it'd be weird if she's just sitting around waiting and then she decides, all right, I'm gonna put on the suit and be Supergirl.
Mind you, we're bouncing all over the place because the movie bounces all over the place. It is not told in a linear fashion. This movie loves its flashbacks, especially to go back and explain stuff about Krypton that we didn't really need to know.
Stuff like sort of kind of.
I think if they would have left that more ambiguous, I think the movie works a little better.
Because I'm like, honestly, just leaving it at just us assuming her comic book origin is pretty much fine. But
they did this. They wanted to retcon it, and they wanted to make it less interesting.
I'm like, I kind of just feel like the strongest moment of like seriousness in this movie is basically just Kara's mom giving her dying wishes.
Which is cool, but like
it's cool, but not. Really all that good.
It just makes you think about stuff more, and the more you think about stuff, it doesn't work. But anyway, okay. So we're going back to jumping back to where we are on the story. So we are at
poison.
She gets poisoned.
It makes her vomit, which ironically she vomits up the poison, so she starts whooping ass now. Cred flees at this point. He snatches.
It's because she starts vomiting because she drank a gallon of milk. You can't drink a gallon of milk.
Oh, that's what it was. It was that the milk made her throw up.
Yeah.
I'm still counting on the kick in the stomach at what caused it, though, because I just think it's hilarious how she gets kicked in the gut into a wall after saying, like, wait, give me a minute, I need to get it together. And then she vomits up, like, a small glass worth of liquid, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm stronger now. Starts beating these guys up.
So the fight ends up going outside, and that's when Lobo
Krem
shows
gets
up.
out of reach, of course.
That's when Lobo shows up.
Lobo shows up. That's pretty cool because there's this we're showing the
movie
face.
Gets better instantly. By the way,
we're showing the face of the guy Lobo's after, and we see that face.
It's like a bounty.
I'm not gonna lie. It was happening in real time. Every time you saw this random guy, it was like the salivating dog, like not Pavlov's dog, but I took some psych classes. Basically, it's like the classical conditioning. You play a bell before you give a dog food. The dog starts to salivate when he hears the bell.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot what it's called. Yes.
So this guy is our bell. Yeah. We see this guy, and at least me, I'm like, oh, Lobo's coming soon.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that means. Lobo's coming to kill you.
Go!
Lobo's coming to kill you, bro.
Yeah.
So this guy shows up, and I think we're still a little bit off from Lobo showing up. I'm gonna let you pick it up here because I'm trying to put things in order in my head.
Okay, yeah. So they have a big fight. It's they're going through the building, whatever, and like the guy
up all these random guys. I
can't
recall. Oh, I think Cred basically because he realized this family kind of betrayed him in that they gave Supergirl some milk to save herself because the milk was gonna make her throw up.
But I think he's like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna go kill your little girl.
A deal's a deal. I'm killing your daughter now.
Yeah.
And
he starts going after her. Which just to be an asshole, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's no reason. He already has, because he's collecting at this point. He's like collecting all of his they call them the brides or whatever. So they collect a bunch of the girls from this planet, and they're gonna take them off world. He's chasing this one for literally no reason. Even though this is a like once Lobo shows up, like this is a very dangerous place for him to be.
Oh yeah.
It's in his best interest to get out of there with what he already has. Leave the girl. You brought her to stay anyway. Like there's no reason to go chase this girl around. Whatever. So he goes and chases the little girl, and then Supergirl sees that. She's like, I'm not gonna let you kill this little girl.
The homes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Lobo literally swings through, cutting them all down. Yeah. Just drop into the street.
And they live. It's like a 50-foot drop, and they all live. I don't know, whatever.
I got nothing.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
The girls get out, and they start trying to run. Supergirl is fighting all of Krem's goons and trying to save all the girls she can.
It's a very chaotic scene. There's a lot going on.
Yep, there's a whole lot
Which is
going
cool.
on.
It's a cool fight scene.
Yeah, she has a nice little fight scene. She's whooping everybody around her. Lobo shows up. He kills a couple of guys, but he's looking for his one guy in specific. And the family who
he's got a Ghost Rider loadout, by the way.
Yeah, he's riding the bike, doing the
he's got the fire and stuff.
Lobo stuff.
It's so cool.
Yeah, he rides through a big old explosion, so his bike's on fire for a minute.
It's pretty cool.
It did look pretty Ghost Rider. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, so the girl who belongs to this family that Supergirl is staying with, she gets out and she books it because I guess she's. I
don't blame her.
I forgot. I was gonna say
she's trying to live.
Did she know that she was gonna be killed?
Yeah, I think she just got back to her home. She wants to be
exactly.
safe. Yes.
Like if she got captured, you land in your hometown. You're like, screw it. I know the land. I'm gonna run.
I'm a dip.
So she runs. Krem sees her and he's like, no, she's gotta die.
Yeah.
And so he starts tracking her down. Meanwhile, Supergirl is fighting her way through all these guys and saving all these girls.
Yeah.
And Lobo.
And this is the part where Krem kind of shines for me as a villain because like he slimes their whole family.
Yeah, actually, when he eventually catches up. Oh, man, it's a whole thing. So he eventually catches up. We're just going to fast forward through this fight a bit because it's just a bunch of cool fighting.
Yeah, it's cool.
Krem he's catching up to this girl. She's hiding and whatnot. Little girl who's been with Supergirl this whole time. Her name's Ruthie. I remember it. It's just, I think that's her name. I'm pretty sure that's her name. But basically, Ruthie catches up to him. She's got this sword of wonder, and she dies. Well, no, I forget if she actually went for him. Yeah, I think she went for him, exposed herself. Supergirl catches up, flies through, snatches her, puts her down somewhere, and Supergirl is like, why won't you let me kill him? She gives her spiel. It'll mess you up. I'm not going to let you do that to yourself. Do you even think it'll make you happy? Revenge.
Supergirl's trying to force her on the high road after the whole point of her being here is killing bro, by the way.
I thought I saw something.
Oh. The whole point of her being here is to kill this guy.
She's come here to kill this guy. Like, ever since Krypto got hurt, she's had no questions in her mind about killing the guy. And I get if you don't want to let the little girl do that, but if you're gonna do it,
but why bring her then? That was the whole thing. Like the whole reason she wants to be there is to kill this guy.
Just sat her with her aunt.
Yes, exactly. You could. Just don't bring her along, and you don't have this problem.
Especially because bring her along risked her dying.
Yeah, Ruthie is she's around for no reason. But anyway,
but basically she tries to kill Krem. Supergirl interrupts her. Krem catches up to this girl, but the girl's family catches up to Krem, and they try to do something. All three of them get killed on the spot. Yeah,
Krem cooks them.
They didn't have a chance.
It's like the dad first, and then the mom, and then the little girl's like all standing there. He picks up the little girl and just slimes her. Like holy, and that was like that right there was such a better.
I'm not gonna lie, that was Krem's best scene.
Yeah, that was a bet because it was like, dang, like I didn't think he was gonna kill the girl like that.
No, I did not.
He has no reservations about killing children.
I figure like I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna run down this girl. Supergirl will save her, get her back to the family. Cool. Then when the family shows up, I'm like, all right, he's gonna kill them. The girl will at least live, or maybe kill one of the parents. No. In literally like 3 seconds, he kills this entire family.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, get paid.
Yo, and like, then he dips. That's when he starts dipping.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I almost think they should have gone like the sort of like cold, ruthless kind of a route with Cred, like having him be like the kind of guy who it's like this is all business to him.
Mm-hmm.
I almost think they should have gone that kind
of. I think that would have been more interesting.
Yeah, because it's like here it's like honestly he gives me Suicide Squad Joker vibes of like he wants to be the big bad guy so bad. Yeah, we get it, bro. You're evil.
Yeah, but anyway,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so so Lobo finds his mark. During all this going on, he like whiplashes that guy with the hook, man. He like grabs that guy with the hook. He hooks him to the back of his like motorcycle thing. He just drags him, bro.
He's dragging this guy by his neck
literally, bro.
This battlefield,
yes, bro.
running through his friends, mind you. And it's like holy.
Yeah,
crap.
And I think that's the last we see of Lobo until the next scene, because I think Krem goes back into his ship and then they kind of take off.
Guys. Lobo, we cut back to Lobo. He's still in this fight.
He collects the brides.
He starts fighting random Krem goons.
Yeah.
And then the guy he was here for tries to jump on Lobo's bike to get away.
Yeah.
And Lobo is like, oh, now you made me mad. So he throws his hook after him, flips his own bike, flinging this guy through someone's house. And then that's unfortunately the last we see of Lobo.
Yeah.
So the movie is like now a decent bit less enjoyable. But
so Krem gets back in his ship, takes the brides. He reconnects the brides to the ship.
Supergirl's flying up after the ship.
Out.
The ship can teleport, so it teleports
away. Yeah. Because sure, bro. I don't know. Whatever. So what happened to her ship? Because they took her ship and just went back to and they just ditched it somewhere.
Did she get her ship back?
I don't think she did.
All I know is they definitely did travel between planets after that with no real issue. They didn't have to take the space buses.
So he's got his ship now, and they teleport.
He's on the Krem ship.
So now they go find him again, which sucks. Like it's just like we're chasing this guy all over the place. He's just going from place. He just shows up when it's convenient
most
for
of
the
these movies they work because either like maybe one of the two like. A lot of them they'll either do one big encounter or two big encounters before the final fight between hero and villain, right? And usually these will work because maybe one of them the villain escapes, maybe one of them the villain whoops the hero, maybe both they whoop the hero. But when the villain just keeps walking away, it's like, okay, we're not threatened by you. You just keep running.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So he gets away with his brides or whatever. Cool. They go to this planet that's like has a green sun and a yellow sun. All right.
I'm trying to what didn't something happen before that? I thought something. Didn't they go to another planet before they went after Krem one more time?
Maybe.
I'm mistaken. Oh wait, one more thing. So Supergirl catches. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So Supergirl comes back to Ruthie after this whole chaotic scuffle on this planet. All the random people are just literally trying to put things back together in the aftermath. Oh, I remember what happened now. So yeah. So this girl says to Supergirl, she's like, that family's death is on your hands. If you didn't stop me from killing him, given what he deserved, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But if you've watched either of the scenes of these guys, because shortly before Krem leaves, one of his tanks, Lobo cuts it loose during the havoc.
He just
falls
catches
out of the sky on him, and he just goes, "Oh,
yeah, you're not killing Krem, big dog.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
There
was a 0% chance of her killing Krem.
There was no reality in which she killed Krem.
No, yeah.
What Supergirl prevented was you being added to his kill streak, because he only gets a UV. He only gets a UAV after the family.
His Krem's strength is comparable to Supergirl's in this film.
He's clearly superhuman.
Yeah, yeah. He caught a tank with one hand. It was like, the
the
little girl has no powers to speak of, by the way.
No, she's not even. I wouldn't even say she's like a very competent fighter. Like she does a couple of good maneuvers.
Yeah. Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. I think
she had no chance. Like no amount of plot armor was saving her there.
Yeah.
But really, honestly, if you ask me, like looking at it, her doing that, sure, it stalled Krem from killing this bride for a couple more seconds, but the bride and her whole family still got, smoked, where, meanwhile, Supergirl would probably have caught up to Krem had she not been trying to kill him, and, had Supergirl not had to take her and move her away from Krem, she probably actually just could have saved that whole family. So if you ask me, it's probably more the little girl's fault.
We'll go after. I'll ask this question after. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, basically, she blames Supergirl, and basically Supergirl is saying, if you would have killed this guy, you'd become messed up. And the girl turns it on Supergirl, and she's like, what? Or no, she's like, should I be like you? Like, I don't want to be like you. I would rather be messed up with this revenge stuff.
Such a doo-doo butter insult, by the way. Oh. I don't want to be like you.
She's like, I don't want to be running around from planet to planet, getting drunk, wasting all my power or something like that.
That tween-ass argument, bro. Like,
it is.
Anyway.
It is very much typical teen stuff. But yeah, so Supergirl she takes this and she's like, you know what? Since she and like this is her words. This isn't even me just paraphrasing. I'm not quoting her exactly, but she basically says, "If you hate being like me so much, then why don't you go find the guy and kill him on your own?" Like she actually says that last part. She's literally like, "Why don't you go find him and kill him yourself?"
Nice.
And she takes off into space, and I'm like, she really just like genuinely had that argument with that little girl, but she takes off into space. And honestly, this is a pretty cool moment. She flies up into space, where of course in space no one can hear you scream. So she screams.
Yeah, that was cool. I like
all
that.
of her like stuff comes back to her. All of her past stuff with Krypton, you know, like a bunch of like the deaths she's seen. It all comes back to her, and she like has this massive scream that is of course muted. Like it's not muffled. It's just
there's no sound in space.
And you just see like a single tear come out of her eye, and it floats out, and it like actually is this bubble in front of her. And that's a pretty nice scene, honestly.
That was well shot, well acted. It was good.
And in this moment, Supergirl locks in. So she flies right down immediately. She, is like walking through the chaos. Some guy tried to say something stupid to her, and she literally just grabs him and throws him because she's just had enough.
Yeah, she's had enough.
She just tosses this guy off the screen with one hand.
Yep.
Finds the guy who the family was saying, they know this guy. This guy knows Creme, and she's like, look. You're going to tell me where Creme is, and I forget what threat she made. Oh, she's like, she holds him up on a wall, and she's like, you're going to tell me where Creme is. And he's like, either no or like, or what. And she's like, or you're going to be a hand puppet if you don't.
Yeah.
So he's going to tell her where Creme is.
He's ugly as hell, too. He's one of the ugliest.
He's one of those ugly but really well done alien designs. Like, he's ugly by design.
Yeah.
He just looks freakish, but he's actually extremely well made.
I agree.
And yeah, she doesn't make him a hand puppet. She finds out where Creme is, and she takes off.
No, so he's like, oh, you got to wear this. I'll bring you to Creme, but you have to wear this.
Yeah,
and he puts a sack over her head. She has X-ray vision.
Yeah, it's like you're going to
doesn't matter.
You're not supposed to know where he is. And I'm thinking, like, I thought the plan was to masquerade her as a bride, but no, it's just you can't know exactly where you're being taken, but you will get to Creme. And, the girl with X-ray vision, of course, it doesn't matter. She goes. It's whatever. Literally, like, she's on
She goes alone. She didn't take the girl with her.
She's on their, she doesn't take the girl. The girl is left on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
She's on their ship, literally looking through the bag on her head to, like, look at her little timer.
Yeah. She has X-ray vision, so, yeah, she's, like, just, like, waiting. Okay. So she gets dropped off on the planet. So she gets dropped off on the planet. She walks 3 steps and falls over. We're like, big dog, what's going on? Look to the left.
And a green sun comes up. Now,
this is like, this pisses me off, bro. Because, like, what is a green sun?
I've read some amount of DC comics. I'm not gonna say I'm the most well-read guy, but I know a decent bit.
But it has the same properties as kryptonite?
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. Like, yeah, I don't believe in that, man.
So she just starts dying.
Yeah, so she's literally just laying on this planet dying. Somehow
something starts dragging her.
Yep, and it is revealed to be the little girl who said she hates her so much.
And during this drag scene, she gets a flashback.
Yep,
and that's when we learn, like, that's when she lands on Earth, and then she meets Superman.
She was sent to Earth. So this scene was nice because David Cornsweet, Superman was in it, and you get her and him interacting. He basically greets her on Earth. She came out of this pod, and he's like, "I've been tracking your ship for a while now," and he's like, "I think you're from Krypton, like me." And this is when he realizes that she actually speaks Kryptonian. Yeah. And so she has no idea what he's saying.
The funniest part of the interaction is when he starts talking louder, he's like, why am I talking
louder? Yeah, he like raises his voice and he realizes like, why am I talking louder? That's not making it easier to understand.
This movie does have a couple of good jokes.
Yeah,
that was one of them.
He kind of does this funny bit with her where he keeps on trying to like he's honestly giving her the coolest welcome to Earth that he could give. And then he stops and he's like, you don't understand me. Why am I talking?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that was a cool interaction. Then we go back to the scene with her on the planet being dragged. Find out that it's a little girl. How'd she get on that planet? I don't know, but she got there.
This grown woman. All this distance, also don't know.
She dragged Supergirl all the way to a cave.
Where she should hopefully be shielded from some
She's
of that
still
green
feeling
sunlight.
it, but
definitely
it's not
still
as bad.
looking
It's
at
not
stage 4, but she is dying less slowly.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, you need water," so she goes out of the cave to go get her some water,
and
then she immediately gets captured, bro.
Family,
yeah. She's it's like this one Minotaur guy like frolicking in the pond, and she,
and he's like,
yeah.
She's looking at him. And literally,
she just gets
behind her. She turns around. He's
crazy backhand. Yeah, exactly.
She gets the backhand of instant unconsciousness.
So she gets captured. She goes to the Kremlin ship, and then who's there?
Yep, she
Lobo.
looks over in the cage next to her, and who is there but Lobo? Which
how did bro get caught? The last time we saw him,
he had his mark dead to rights.
Yeah,
and like. These guys are tough, but they're not Supergirl and
Lobo.
No,
they're not beating Lobo. We've seen they're not beating Lobo.
They both bodied like 10 of these guys in a row. And even if you want to say, oh, Krem's the strongest one, he's stronger or whatever, he's already gone by the time Lobo's got his guy in a one-on-one.
Yes.
And Lobo has literally walked through like 8 of these guys before this, so they're not a problem for him.
So he's in there for fun. I don't know. There's no reason. And I guess for him to like bond with the girl.
Is, a lot more enjoyable. I forget the girl's like struggling, and she's we forgot to mention this girl's in like this big goofy spacesuit because she's not a Kryptonian. Yeah. She can't just go around all these different planets. So it's how she survives.
She's got like a bubble suit on.
Yeah,
it deploys.
So she's trying to like she's crashing against this cage, trying to do something to get out, and the suit is like rubbing against it, and it's making an aggravating noise. So Lobo is like, "Hey, those bars there are like laced with poison," and she's like, "Oh, well, like I think she said something about like thanks or like what you're being helpful or something," and he's like, "No, it's a loud and very aggravating death. So if you're gonna do that, wait until I've had my nap."
Yeah. So he kills a rat and just tosses at the suit and turns it off. He hits the button.
He literally like smashes this rat's head and throws it at the button on her suit to turn
it
the
deactivates the
off.
suit. Yeah. He's like,
and
"Oh,
she's
thanks."
like, "Oh, thank you," because she didn't know how to deactivate it. It was pretty funny.
Anyway, yeah. So but like she's not dumb. So anyway, whatever. So dude come she's like basically saying that she wants to meet Creme so that she can,
she's like, someone's got to take her to Creme. Basically, after a while, she starts yelling for someone to get Creme in there. And again, Lobo is just trying to take his naps. He's like, "Could you not?"
Yeah.
And the guard doesn't like it, and the guys outside of this area don't like it.
Yeah.
So eventually, one of the guys comes up to the guard, and he's like, "Would you take her to Creme so he can shut her up?" And the dude's like, "All right, fine."
Yep.
So he takes the girl. Well, no, he doesn't take her to him. He brings Creme down
there.
Yeah.
Creme comes into her cell, starts talking to her about nothing, really. And then
I don't even know what he said.
He was saying, "Oh, you can tell me where Supergirl is."
Yeah, right, because he's like...
Yeah, because Supergirl's on the planet, dying in a cave.
Yep, because apparently they actually intentionally went to this, Green Sun planet, of course, but it's like... First, the existence of the Green Sun is weird enough. Second, the fact that they know this or that they know they're dealing with a Kryptonian because apparently the consensus in the universe is that their planet blew up in a day, so no one's left.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
Even if there were any left, no one should know about the Yellow Sun giving them powers or any sun giving them powers or Kryptonite or Green Suns. None of this information is public knowledge, but
we'll get to that. We'll get to that after in the plot hole section. But they know that for some reason they know. I guess the guy that brought her told them that she's on planet.
Yeah. So he's like, "Look,
he ratted her.
I'll
out.
let you live."
Yeah.
He's like, Kryptonians and Green Suns do not mix.
Yeah.
So you can tell me where she is. I'll kill her. You live.
Yeah.
And she spits in his face, and he leaves.
Yeah. So she ain't no snitch. I'll give her that. So after this, she starts yelling to talk to Creme again. She's acting like she's scared.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, I just want to talk to him. I'll tell her. I'll tell you. And so they go, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, sure. We'll bring her to Creme so she'll shut up." And so the guard goes into her cell, and then she lets him cuff her.
Yep.
And he turns around. She jumps on his back.
Around his neck,
yes.
And it's like slamming him into these cage walls.
And Lobo's just having a blast with it, bro.
Oh my god.
He's like watching like it's a UFC fight.
Lobo turns.
He's like, "Let's fucking go."
He turns into a proud father. He's like, "Yes, I knew you had it in you." And she knocks this guy out, and she like goes to try and walk out after Creme, and Lobo is like, "Hey, you know you can't leave without me." I forget his exact words. But of course, because she would absolutely get like literally eaten by Creme.
Yeah.
She goes and she lets Lobo out, and he gets up and he stops and he kneels in front of her, and he's like, "I am so proud of you." And he goes to grab his crap and kill Creme. Except she has apparently jumped up into a vent and
she turns into Batman from Telltale series. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she just jumps up into a vent and just gone, and he's like, "That's freaking impressive," and leaves. And it's like,
but she didn't know how to turn her suit off. Like, it's just like, what do we? I don't know. It's just it's very weird. So okay,
it was a pretty obvious button. Supergirl hit it in front of her a couple of times. You think she would have picked it up?
Yes. Anyway, whatever. So, so they end up meeting up with.
You'd also think she would just know better than to just start talking to random criminals like something's gonna work out.
So if it actually flashes back to Supergirl, she's in her cave, and the Green Sun's going down, and the Yellow Sun's coming up. So she's not nerfed anymore. She's like not dying anymore. She goes from being literally on her deathbed.
What was her last flashback about?
Probably it was something with her parents. I don't know.
Like
it wasn't.
It was the moment that her father puts her in the capsule and sends her to Earth.
Yeah, which wasn't a very long scene.
Yeah, I'm like it was like okay to show their devotion or whatever. We actually get a scene. Oh no, that was earlier in the movie. I'm mistaken. But yeah, basically. It cuts to her mother dies. They're at her funeral. Then afterwards, her father puts her in her little pod. She's holding Crypto, who's like a pup at this point, and she takes him to Earth or whatever. Or they get sent off to Earth. And this is where I'm like, I feel like, frankly, they should have flipped around some flashbacks. Like they could have done all this lore stuff back then, and they could have had in this moment be where she thinks back to her mom's dying wish being, just be good. You don't have to be perfect.
Agreed.
Just be good. Stand up for weaker people.
Yes.
And boom, she's like,
yes.
all right.
And then her motivation then is to go help the girl.
Because,
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but it's not.
Yeah, she just kind of literally just remembers some kind of just like tidbits from her past, and then she decides to put on the Supergirl suit and she goes after Cred.
Yep. So they go up to meet. So the girl just goes up to meet Cred.
The girl actually beats Lobo by a long shot to meet Cred, but I think it's because Lobo was going to like get all his.
He went to go get his bike.
He wanted his crap.
He went to go get his bike. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, the girl goes up to Cred and just tries to 1v1 him. I don't know what that's about.
And like it's the funniest thing because. She climbs up there. He like throws a grappling hook past her at something, and she like narrowly or no, I think he just plain didn't.
Yeah,
he
just didn't throw it at her. Yeah.
She didn't actually dodge it.
But he like literally like
she's like looking at it, and so he grabs it and like flips it over her to the point that she's now tied up in it entirely, and he's just slowly walking up to her as he loops it more, and that's when I'm like, all right, that was actually kind of impressive, Cred. And so yeah, he is about to kill her. He takes a sword and is gonna just do it or whatever. When Supergirl shows up.
Yep. She's like, you better kill me now, because look behind you. And Supergirl, she's in the air, fully powered up. She's in the yellow sun. Yeah, and she's got the suit on now, which means nothing. But whatever. She looks cool. She doesn't look cool either.
I'm not going to lie. I do think they could have made her entrance with having the suit now cooler and also had her, like, I feel like, really in general with things like this, when the hero steps up in their final suit or whatever their big look's going to be, obviously they're still going to almost die in the finale. It's going to get messed up. They're going to get beat up or whatever.
I
feel like they usually make a more triumphant entrance. Like they kind of come in and show like, all right, I am a badass before the villain starts putting some hands on him. She drops down and actually immediately gets shot with a kryptonite dart. Like immediately.
Yeah,
I
so
think she hit like maybe 3 guys.
Yeah, she starts putting belt and then she immediately gets hit with a kryptonite dart, which the Cred has kryptonite because he does. I don't know.
Yeah, like in the movie, kryptonite basically only exists on Argo, and maybe technically like Krypton blew up into it, but again, only the Kryptonians really knew about it because it was killing their people on Argo. But Cred's just got a kryptonite dart, and he even says himself like, I never tested on anybody. I didn't know if it would work, but he shoots her with like 4 of them. And yeah, now she's weakened or whatever.
Yeah.
And
why does he have kryptonite? How does he know about kryptonite? How does he know about the green sun? How doesn't he not know that the yellow sun makes her stronger? Because you would just go. I think if I'm Cred, I just go to a place with red sun.
The red sun because
and
it's
then
like
you just don't have to worry about it
like
at all.
50% of the time you have a full mature Kryptonian woman to fight,
yeah.
and the other time you have a cancer patient. It's just all the time you have a woman to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's got no powers. While you can catch tanks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
and it's like
just go to a planet with a red sun, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. So
but yeah. This is
so
where
she gets hit with the kryptonite arrows,
and then he's like he basically I think he was gonna go and kill little girl himself. He has one of his goons go to kill her, but this goon is the same one who Lobo is hunting.
Yes.
So the bell activates. The dog is salivating.
Yep.
The dog is me. I'm like Lobo's gonna come kill this guy.
Yeah.
I forget. It cuts around to some things kind of dramatically. Oh, it cuts to like a very close up of Supergirl's face. She's closing her eyes, about to accept death, and you hear
dude comes up with like the executioner sword,
he pulls
like
out like a straight up
axe,
blade.
yeah.
You hear the cut, and Supergirl opens her eyes because Lobo has just stabbed this guy in the back, and he like hits him with another kill blow, and this guy is dead. So Lobo has done his thing.
Yep.
So
Lobo starts putting belt.
Literally after this, like he just goes for a victory lap. He's not staying to finish the fight. He's just doing what he wants. So he literally gets his bike. Grabs a bunch of random, like, just grenades. I don't know if they were his or Crem's.
No. He kills this guy first, takes his head. He's like, oh, it's better if it's travel size anyway.
Yeah, he kills the guy. He takes his head off because he's got to, give back proof to the guy who hired him. He's like, travel size is always better anyway, instead of carrying the whole corpse.
That was so funny,
Great line. And so he gets on his bike and he literally starts doing laps around this ship, just tossing nades into everything that looks important.
Yeah, and it blows up the whole ship, by the way. It's like the whole ship
is
in shambles.
Into propulsion jets, into like turbines, just everything.
He's taking the whole ship down. Yep.
And the ship starts going down, and honestly, this isn't even like a good or bad or anything against the movie, but it was just a super funny moment to me because Supergirl tries to take off to fly, and it's like, you see a lot of characters like still injured trying to fly, but this has got to be the most like the most like miserable one. She like jumps up and like I can't even do it. She like just she like half flops in the air. Her like one of her legs like shot far out to the left. I'm probably not even on the camera right now, but one of her legs like shoots out this way.
She just like flops. It's like a GTA flop, bro. She just jumps up there like shit, bro.
The least coordinated
it
movement
looked like the
I've ever seen a superhero
it looked like
do.
the Travis Scott album cover.
Like she just throws herself off this ship because she's not trying to blow up.
Yeah. Or the Metro Boomin album cover, that's what it was.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
yeah. Just
yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
yeah. So they end up on the ground. The ship like hits the side of a mountain and just explodes.
And so
everything's on the ground.
Little girl, she and somehow when everything was exploding, she fell off the side of the ship and is hanging off of a rope. Krem himself also winds up hanging off the same rope, like
Lobo just tosses her down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lobo grabs Krem. He's like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna have revenge real quick." Tosses him down there.
That's the funny thing. You got Supergirl who spent all movie trying not to do this. Where Lobo literally says to Supergirl, like, she wants revenge. She let her have it. Freaking tosses this guy so he lands exactly where she is. They're both dangling from this rope for dear life. And the girl like jumps down, and it's at least like a cool 20, maybe 30 feet
she
drop.
Eats
actually,
that fall.
Yeah, she just tanks it.
That's
Krem,
a nasty ankle breaker.
Earlier, but like she actually lands on her feet and then falls. It's like you're never walking again, kid.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But she is
no,
fine.
No
for
damage.
plot
No
reasons.
damage. Yep.
Krem lands. He's fine because he's got superpowers.
Yep. Of course.
And yeah, Supergirl flops
off
this thing.
And the little girl runs out, and so Supergirl realizes that the brides are still in the ship that's like crashing and stuff like that. So she's gonna go save the girls that they stole from the other planet.
Yeah.
And so the little girl runs out into that desert
the little
area.
girl is like just kind of like in this little plain of sand across from the ship.
Yeah.
Supergirl goes into the ship to save these girls. Weird thing is like she's under a full yellow sun, and for some reason she struggles to carry these two tanks that like Krem was able to just like do this with when one was dropped on him from the sky. But she's like struggling to hold these things back from hitting this cage that these girls are in for some reason. But like she just a couple seconds ago fired a beam of heat vision like larger than one of the tanks into the sky.
Her heat vision gets like crazy in this film too. Like so she goes to save the girls, and to get them out, she like does a beam, but she beams the whole ship. Yeah, it's massive, bro.
Yeah, she does another beam just like the one I just mentioned, like knocks through several layers of the ship.
It's the size of her body.
Hole. Yeah,
like probably no, it's like
it's
a bit. Yeah, she's like doing like a Cyclops beam, bro.
Yeah, doing a Cyclops beam, and so she lasers through this ship, and gets the girls out of there, of course.
Yeah.
But
by this time they've already
the little girl was outside, and like it was bad enough because Krem recovers on the ground and he sees this girl and he's gonna walk her down, right? And she's already like looking like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And then Krem's entire remaining forces come driving on every vehicle they owned, and they start doing the death circle around this.
All this for a 13-year-old child.
And I'm just sitting here like, bro, that's not necessary.
It's just not that deep.
One guy on a bike would have been more
it's
than
just not
enough,
that
bro.
deep, bro.
You
like,
Krem walking after her is a threat enough that she can't escape.
Yes.
But they actually get their entire army, and they're like, we're gonna do a whole ritual of killing you.
Yep.
I guess.
And so Krem goes for it, and Supergirl comes in and slimes him. She's on demon time. This is the one time where she feels menacing in this film.
Yeah, this is the one time she actually has like that Kryptonian power.
She comes from off screen, grabs him, and she's like literally,
she hits the Man of Steel.
Yes,
like,
the Man of Steel versus Zod,
like dragging him through the ground while punching him out. And dude,
she's dribbling this nigga.
I was gonna say, if you thought what Superman did to that one girl with the nanomachines and his movie was about, where he like grabs her and like it's just rolling her through the dirt. Supergirl hits him with that one like 8 times in a row.
Yes.
Like, she's straight up dunking this guy. She's dribbling him.
He's getting Brawlhalla dribbled right now. It's bad.
She's doing
it's
him
bad.
terrible. She racks up a cool like 18-hit combo on
the
this
At
guy.
the end of it, he's fully paralyzed. Like he's on the ground, unable to move.
He doesn't hit her once.
He doesn't move for the rest of the movie.
He can't hit back this whole time. He literally cannot move for the rest of the movie.
He cannot move for the rest of the film.
I think he like tried to like laugh or say some villain crap, and then she just starts rocking him, grabs him up, and she flips him like 16 different ways, and then she like actually rolls up in the air, charges, and just slams him directly on the floor, and he's just laying there. He's like Loki in Avengers 1. He just lays there like. He's just in the most pain he's ever been in his whole
bones
life.
are definitely dust at this point.
His bones are dust. His organs are liquid.
She's like.
He has 30 minutes to be alive.
And this whole time, the little girl's still in the death circle, unharmed. I don't know. They just didn't kill her.
They were just kind of still circling her, but then they realized that she's still in the middle of their circle. Supergirl did not save her. So they go for her, but because Supergirl has just left their leader in permanent paralysis, he's never walking again. She doubles back.
She comes back.
She literally is like, she becomes a tornado. Like this whole dust cloud they were whipping up.
Yeah.
You just see vehicles flying and dudes just hitting things.
Laser vision everywhere,
Lasers are
bro.
flying through, like hitting 3 guys in a row.
She
all
tosses
those
the
guys are
tank
dead.
up in the air.
She tosses the tank.
Goes into the tank and lasers the guy out of it.
Oh my
like,
God. Yeah,
holy
she grabs
shit.
this tank. She,
what
like,
did that guy do?
She flies inside the tank, touches the roof of it, and just goes straight up. Like she's like hundreds of feet in the air inside this tank, just carrying it up. Some terrified Kremlin is just looking at her in the ship. Like he hasn't even done anything to try and attack. He's just looking at her in terror for his life. She notices he's there.
Out of the
she notices he's there and just beams him out the side of the thing, and he's dead.
Yeah, he's gone. He's
That's
gone.
the end of
RP,
him.
yeah. Rest in peace, my
She
granny.
comes back down, and she keeps flexing. I think like one of the guys' motorcycle was gonna land on a little girl.
Yep.
She flies in. Does the shot from the trailer where she's like covering her, takes the bike hit, no issue.
Yep.
And it was pretty cool. And they started playing. I don't even remember the song, but I'm not gonna lie, it felt a little corny to me. I think it was. I'm like, isn't that? I think it's a song that's been circulating on like freaking TikTok recently, man.
Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
kind of why it felt corny to me. Like they started playing like a very TikTok song.
I remember distinctly there was a moment when the brides like saved her or something.
Yeah,
too.
I think it was. It
I
was
don't know if
either
that was
right
back on the
before
ship or if
Supergirl
that
doubled
was
back
on
to
the-
save
yeah.
her, or maybe right after.
It was
Supergirl
after
did
she got
something
them
else.
out, though, right? So
yeah,
it had
but
to
after
be.
she saved the brides, at one point some guy was gonna like shoot the little girl or something.
She didn't
like
need
that,
the help,
or
though.
or like slash her or whatever. Yeah, I think one guy ran up behind her with a weapon, and right, that's what it was. Supergirl saves this girl from the bike. Right after that, I think she goes to like address Krem or something. Despite the fact he will never move again.
Yeah.
But basically, she steps away from the girl for like 1 second, and some random guy comes up behind her about to like club her skull in, and he gets shot through the back because a bunch of these abducted girls jumped onto one of their vehicles and shot him, and they like have this moment of, like looking and recognition and whatnot.
Yeah, which is like
cool.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
It's kind of weird to add in there, but sure. I guess.
Yeah, it's like it's a moment that happens.
Sure.
But
random NPC does damage. It's just weird. I don't know.
Because it's like Supergirl was still within 3 feet, more than fast enough to double back and hit that guy. Also, like,
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
It feels weird that the person with all these super senses didn't notice there was one left, despite she like literally, other than that singular guy, she got every single one.
Yeah.
So it's like you just didn't notice this guy was within 3 feet of you.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. It was just a weird moment. They made it a moment, but it was weird.
And then also, like, again, you walk away from this girl. She's still in this dust cloud, and, like, you didn't decide to bring her with you or make sure she was going to stay safe.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yep.
It's like they just kind of randomly make Supergirl an idiot for a second, so that can happen.
Yeah. So once they defeat all the guys,
they double back to Krem.
Yeah, they go back to Krem's crippled body.
He's still laying in the same spot. He hasn't even tried to move because his limbs don't work anymore. They don't listen to his brain.
He's literally mush on the ground. And then so the girl with the sword. The sword comes back out for the first time in an hour and a half.
Remember the sword, guys?
Remember the sword?
This was worth killing a family over. These swords were priceless.
Yes,
if you set this in a random bar on that planet, everyone's going to turn to you because
what?
That guy's sword? I don't remember that guy's name.
Yeah, so she whips out the sword, puts it through his throat. She's about to finish him, and Supergirl's like, this. She hits him with the, there's no turning back from this decision. One of the, at the end of a game.
You can't come back. No, you sure you
back.
want to proceed?
Are you sure you want to proceed?
You won't be able to save.
So it's like I'm not gonna stop you, but if you kill him, it's gonna haunt you for the rest of your days. Yada yada yada. Mind you, she's 13. She lives on like one of the most hostile planets. Like we saw the planet that she was on. She's gonna kill someone
her
eventually.
Family, they were definitely pretty peaceful folks.
Yes.
Their father seemed to be a swordsmith for a reason.
Yes, exactly.
I think you're gonna come across some violence.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, so yeah, Supergirl's under the impression she's never gonna have to. She shouldn't have to kill this person, even though he slimed her whole family. I feel like it's a just get back. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, Supergirl's trying to make her be take the high road and be a good person, whatever. So Krem's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna kill me, yada yada yada. She doesn't. The girl makes the decision not to kill him.
The girl walks away from killing him. Hugs Supergirl.
She chooses,
cool.
and she walks away.
And then Supergirl makes sure she walks away.
Yeah.
And she
takes
walks
the
up
sword.
to the guy, grabs the sword, and he's like, "No, you're not gonna kill me or whatever." And then she like stabbed him in the chest, but like didn't kill him.
That's for the dog.
Yeah, or that was for something, and then she like actually straight up kills him.
Yeah, she stabs him in the stomach. That's for the girl. Stabs him in the throat. That's for the dog. And he chokes on the sword and dies.
So like, mind you, for the girl, she's like, I can hurt you, but for Crypto, for the dog, who's gonna make it now, by the way, because the antidote is on his neck.
Yeah, she just takes it off his neck.
The antidote, she knows her dog is gonna be fine, but over this dog, she will kill you. Over that little girl, you can just take a little discipline
her whole family, gut shot. For the dog,
you die. Cool instantly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah. So, they kill the Krem or whatever, and then they walk off into the sunset.
Yeah, and they give the antidote to Crypto, and he's fine.
Yep, and they go. They give Crypto the antidote.
But I just think
it's all good.
if we just got Crypto a glass of milk, because it was actually the exact same poison that was used on Supergirl in the middle of the movie that she drank some milk
that
to
just
spit up.
So we're gonna So anyway, so
maybe it's because she drank it. I guess it was injected.
I don't know, man. Right. Yeah, I guess it was straight to
okay,
bloodstream. It was straight to bloodstream.
That's fair.
Cool. But anyway,
because that was a gripe I had. But
like,
I guess it makes sense now.
Okay, we're gonna get into some plot stuff because we got about we'll call it 10, 15 minutes left. So movie's over. We wait for the end credit scene. There is none. Womp womp. Whatever.
Yeah,
cool.
no end credits is actually
which is crazy for a DCU, like a universe that you're trying to set up and stuff like that.
Especially
you think
because
like
Supergirl, like,
but it has nothing to do with Clayface, so I get it. Like,
nah, but like we know Clayface is coming. They could set up their next, I don't know, actual superhero movie.
Yeah,
because that's kind of supposed to be the point of this whole interconnected universe.
Wonder Woman, Batman, something. But
I'm like, literally,
we get nothing.
You can set up Supergirl and Superman's next adventure, Supergirl's next solo adventure, bring up a random villain, the Justice Gang, whatever you want.
Yep.
But no post credits.
Yeah.
So
the things that make this film weak are by far the plot holes. Not even the plot holes, but just the inconsistencies and the hand waving that you have to do to make this film work.
Yeah.
It feels lazy on the writer's end when you know that this is a cinematic universe that they're trying to kind of build up, and we didn't really have this in like the MCU where there was so many holes at the start.
Exactly.
Maybe later on in the end game, stuff like that.
They didn't think they would get a cinematic universe. They were just making movies.
And
then they decided, let's do a big crossover movie with Avengers, and then they realize we can keep going.
Yeah, but this film treats Kryptonians like they're plants. We're going through like when she's strong and not strong when the plot wants her to be. The sun comes up when it needs to, and it goes down when it needs to.
It really
and
does. Because I'm like, she was definitely not on that planet for 12 hours, and like I don't know what kind of planet has a day cycle of like 15 minutes. I have no idea.
The girl is dumb when she needs to be. She's smart when she needs to be.
And apparently, she just randomly develops a black belt and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And the ability to like, wait a minute, because we don't even know how she got up into that vent. Because like the ceiling was high. Lobo.
She just jumped, bro. Yeah, she just grown. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, right. So one of the things that upset me mostly in the film is when they go back and they do the flashback to Supergirl's origins and her leaving Krypton, and they say that Krypton doesn't get destroyed in a day. They have time. They have years.
Yeah, they said like Krypton was like a slow.
So they do like an Ultron thing where they like grab their city and they go up into the sky in this bubble, and they're in this little bubble and they're surviving for years because at this point Supergirl's when Krypton's being destroyed, Supergirl's not even born yet. She's literally
She's negative 8 years old.
So they have children on this bubble that's floating in the air. So Krypton explodes, but the city's floating in the air as its own little planet or whatever. Cool. And their sun's still red or whatever, and so everyone's still weak. But they know about the yellow sun because her dad
at least Kara
said
and Clark's dad both know.
Yes,
that yellow.
They know about the yellow sun. So there's a surviving Kryptonian knowing that the yellow sun is going to make them a lot stronger.
Mind you, the force field was actually his invention and idea, and he deployed it on the day of. So he is the man in charge of this whole thing.
So Krypton survives if he's not silly.
Yeah.
Like
they use that big fat brain of his.
Yes, they have tech to get those pods to Earth within a lifetime, less than a lifetime, or maybe a couple years.
Yeah, I'm like they did
maybe 2 years
because both like those
because
pods had like
Crypto goes from a puppy to a dog, so maybe 2 years.
He was still a pup when they landed on Earth.
Oh, you're right.
He was still a pup, and then the thing is, both Clark and Kara were both able to make it to Earth, like with no kind of life support built into the pod. They're not connected to the pod.
So a couple of months to a year.
Yeah, I'm like, and I forget if Clark.
She's not asleep.
Yeah, I think Clark like maybe had like the baby swallow, but did he even have any other protective stuff in there on him? And Kara was in this tinfoil suit, so it's not like they're on life support.
So they have light faster than light travel.
Yeah,
they have faster than light travel.
And so they've done this in less than a few days, and probably they don't even seem malnourished or anything. So it's really it's like a car ride.
Yes,
it's a car ride.
Yes.
For them.
So the Kryptonians have faster than light travel at this point. They have their little floating city in a bubble. You would think that they would just move to a yellow sun.
Yeah.
They could just float, like, and literally float the city anywhere. They just float to a yellow sun. Even, like, and they have years to do this.
And also, like, for your big genius.
Or just start sending people out in pods. You can make the pods. Mm-hmm. You have 8 years. Start sending pods out.
Genius, like, let's take my city and put it in a bubble idea, which, first of all, I feel like her dad's kind of just an asshole because you decide to do this for just the city you live in. Like, I don't see why
that is kind of crazy.
You share this information across the planet. So, like, all of your big.
That's like that's like the entire planet being destroyed, and you save Kansas.
Literally, like I just decide
because the scientists lived in Kansas. Yeah,
some guy in Chicago is like, my city will make it. All the rest of y'all, you got
womp womp, I guess. Yeah, I don't. It's just like
his own brother
does
not deserve to get in the spot because he did not live in Argo City.
His own brother
crime was to not live in Argo City. His sentence is to die with the planet.
Like, okay, bro. Yeah. Anyway, so
and also they confirm because Superman gave us the impression, okay, Superman's parents want him to conquer the Earth. So, we get this impression, okay, Kryptonians are like these kind of conquerors. They're kind of assholes. No, actually, the whole of Krypton was actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jor-El was just some fucking madman who just decided his son should go be a god on some planet. And literally, even Kara's dad calls this out during the first flashback to Krypton's destruction. He's like, my brother, that madman, he wants his. I'm not sending my daughter to be some kind of god on this planet, and that's why he keeps her. Well, he just keeps her in the bubble with him.
Yeah.
And it's a whole crazy thing.
Another thing is that we know, because in the film when Supergirl gets hit with a kryptonite dart, we know that the yellow sun repairs her cells from kryptonite poison.
Basically, I forget, she snatches them out of her and basically slowly starts to recover, and then is able to just fly up higher.
Yeah, she flies up and she sees the sun.
They actually show us her cells clearing out,
which tells us that the yellow sun would have healed them from the kryptonite poison that they all succumbed to.
Yep.
So moving towards the yellow sun just would have worked.
It also would have healed Crypto.
And they knew about the yellow sun being stronger because Superman's parents sent him intentionally to a planet that had yellow sun, so he'd be stronger. So just go to yellow sun. Anyway, good.
It also would have healed Crypto from the entire reason this movie happened.
Oh my goodness!
With a paralytic.
Yes, and they leave him on a red sun planet.
He was hit with a paralytic that was massively less lethal than kryptonite. And no, they were actually on a yellow sun planet when this. Or no, they were on a red sun planet. But you're traveling through space.
She leaves him on a red sun planet.
You could go to. Hear me out. This whole movie doesn't have to happen. She could just take Crypto, go to a planet with the yellow sun,
he'll be fine in a week.
Not even. You go to the yellow sun, you get your powers back, so you fly your dog up into the sky, and now he's fully recovered.
Yeah.
This movie didn't need to happen.
It didn't. The more you think about it, this movie falls apart.
She could have literally given that little girl the middle finger, taken her dog to the sun, and just gone home and kept drinking.
Yep. I don't know. But she doesn't go through an arc like they needed her to go through an arc, but she doesn't really go through an arc, especially not an arc that warrants wearing the suit.
I'll be frank, her arc.
Because once she puts the suit on, she kills him. She kills the guy. The action that she takes, the major action that she takes after putting on the suit, is sliming a man out while he's paralyzed on the ground, defenseless.
And it's one thing. Hey,
what'd you put the suit on for?
It's fine if you want to kill people. It's if you're
put on a Viltrumite suit, you fit in better.
If you're gonna be a lethal protector, that's fine. But it's I don't even feel like yes, we know her arc is for her to reckon with her mom's words, be good, be the kind of person who protects people. Hence, you be Supergirl. So she eventually goes back to Earth, joins Superman. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's I can't really explain it as much other than just going on a whole tirade through the movie like we did here without showing you the movie that frankly what happens throughout the movie is not compelling enough for me to believe that it made her actually decide, yes, this is proof that I should in fact go do that or my life won't get better. Don't get me wrong, obviously your life's not going to be good if you're just running around from planet to planet getting drunk all the time, but it's I don't see why that really I'm not convinced that those events made her think I need to put on the suit, I need to become Supergirl, and I need to go to Earth and join my cousin.
We forgot to mention at the end of the movie, after she gets done killing Krem, she goes back to Earth and then she talks to Superman and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay for a while. I feel like that's the right thing for me to do." Because this whole movie she's been
ignoring his calls. And he's like, "Please come back to Earth." And she's like, "No."
But what I don't really know. So she takes her takeaway from the events of the movie is that she can handle galactic threats efficiently and help people outside of Earth, and then she just goes back to Earth.
Because I figured the movie was gonna be some kind of lesson about where your home is, because she talks a lot about not having a home, not having a people. Her lesson is just be good, go where you can help people. And yeah, sure, Earth is a planet with a yellow sun, but there's yellow suns all throughout the universe, so you could help literally anywhere. There's not really
Earth already
any
has
specific
Superman.
reason to be Supergirl and go to Earth with Superman, especially because they've got Superman and apparently hundreds of other metahumans already.
Aside from her maybe wanting to be closer to family and stuff like that. Cool, maybe I could see that.
I could easily see that.
But nothing from the movie really, the movie doesn't really push her in that direction. So
Jor-El's going to be like your cousin, or maybe it's going to be that they were kids who grew up together, so that's not the case because she wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking at some point something's going to connect on the family level, but not really. Jor-El thought his brother was a psychopath. He tried to save his city on his own, which, if you ask me, also kind of makes him a psychopath. Both of them failed in their effort. Well, no, Jor-El got his son to Earth, but he didn't get his son to
Did she
conquer.
bring the girl to Earth?
Who?
Did Supergirl bring the girl to Earth?
No, she took the girl back to her aunt.
Didn't she say, "Oh, is your aunt gonna miss you? Or is your aunt not gonna miss you or something?" Yeah. Did she bring her back?
Maybe. I have no idea what she did.
Maybe she's like, I forgot what she said. She said there was a line in there about, "Oh, is your aunt gonna freak out if you're gone?"
More of that kid.
Yeah, I don't either. Oh my God, they could have casted a cardboard box and it would have been more interesting.
Honestly, like,
okay, how do you feel about the casting for this film? Do you feel like it was well casted?
I don't think it was well casted or poorly casted. I think it was just poorly done.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't blame the actors.
How do you feel about Supergirl being casted though? Do you think that was a good actress to pick?
I wouldn't say she had a terrible performance.
I think she did good.
She didn't like blow my mind or anything.
Agreed.
She definitely does do like her emotional scenes well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it feels like literally everyone in this movie except Lobo is held back by the writing.
I agree.
Lobo's the only person.
And Lobo doesn't really need the writing because he doesn't talk much.
So yeah, it's like he's either just sitting around being annoyed with people, or he just says something off the wall and it works.
Yeah.
Or he kills somebody.
Yeah.
And it also works.
Somebody that works. Yeah. I think Krem.
But it feels like the only person who they really put their foot into writing was Lobo. Everybody else, they were like. Yeah, like it was like the broadest strokes, but they never really got down into the specifics of making it really articulated well.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
Krem was honestly like I said,
Krem was okay. He didn't feel particularly
I think you could swap
imposing
Krem with
on
Suicide
screen.
Squad Joker. Just give him the Venom serum or something like that. Just make him strong.
Yeah.
Strong enough to threaten normal people, not strong enough to beat up Supergirl.
Yeah.
And he works exactly the same. Like, this guy just gave me he wants to be the big bad maniacal guy. He wants to be the guy who can have fun killing people, but you're just not imposing, dude.
I think the only thing that made him the only imposing moment he had on screen was when he killed that family of 3.
Because it's like,
that was great because that was just a ruthless act. Yeah.
You don't typically see a little girl get bodied right next to her parents.
It was crazy.
But no, he did that.
Yeah. But, like, why did he spare the girl in the beginning then?
Yeah.
If he's completely fine with sliming out kids.
He just tomahawked her brother for literally trying to prank his sister because he didn't know there was a menace in the house.
So he just picks and chooses when he kills children.
He picks and chooses when he kills children.
Whatever, bro. He could have took the girl because his whole thing was taking girls. So it's like you would take the girl. He just left the girl. I don't know, man. Whatever. It doesn't. The more you think about it, this movie, it pisses you off and makes you feel like you just watched something that wanted you to not think, and that's fine. Like, if the action in this movie was good enough to warrant it being a thoughtless piece, and if it wasn't a part of an extended universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's not like the movie takes itself absurdly seriously or anything, but you can tell it's clearly trying to be a movie that is good.
Yes, it's not as fun as a summer flick. It's not as interesting as a part of a universe that's extended, that's building out lore. It fails at both of the things that it's trying to do. Yeah. So it's like it's the worst parts of both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get really weird looking fight scenes.
It's trying to have a heart, but it doesn't quite make you care. But then it also wants to be fun, but then it's not. Like, it's not real.
It's only fun when Lobo's on screen, and that's maybe 20% of the time.
And it's like, I don't even fault them for, like, it's just that the funny stuff wasn't all, like, it just
the jokes didn't really land that much. Like, there was a couple of funny parts with Seth Rogen and Lobo, and there was a couple funny parts with Supergirl, and, but the little girl is like, literally just, I mean, she was the most.
I'm not going to lie, she was, in fact,
that was probably some of the worst casting. Just in general, that character just, honestly, if she wasn't there, the movie is probably better. In my opinion, I think the movie's more interesting if she's not there.
Like, if we need something to be protecting, I almost would like nominate Crypto for that, but I get it because he's also a super dog. But I don't know, and like, I mean, there is the route of poisoning him, except the problem being that Supergirl.
We got a useless MacGuffin.
So you can't have him be poisoned because he's the same as her. Yeah, that sword genuinely. I'm not gonna lie, like
they just forgot about the sword halfway through the film, and then it came back at the end when she put it to dude's neck, and then she didn't use it. So it's like, what are we doing? And then I don't even know where the sword is now. I wasn't
looking for these girls. He did like. There was no reason to go to that little girl's house but to get these swords. There's nothing else notable about it. Their house is in the middle of actual nowhere. Like, even on the random planet it's on, it's off, secluded as crap.
When any character has the opportunity to use a weapon and the sword is there, they don't pick it.
Literally, they have chosen every weapon but the sword at every turn. Lobo will use his hook. Lobo used literally a friggin' bar stool before that sword.
Random cronies who clubs. They'll use clubs.
Like there's a weird amount of just big spike clubs that people are going for other than this supposedly super valuable sword.
The first guy that steals it puts it in its horse saddle and then takes out his club to use against Supergirl. Like,
exactly.
You would think you would use
and
the sword.
Krem takes the sword. Mind you, this sword was literally his primary objective at the start of the movie. He gets the sword from the girl because he has her captured. He knows Lobo is after him. Well, not after him, actually. He knows Lobo's not after him. But still, he knows Supergirl's
Lobo's around.
after him.
And when Lobo's around, you want to be using your best weapon.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And he has this sword somewhere in a friggin' vault with Lobo's crap. He has no intention of using it, no interest at all.
Yeah.
You literally tracked a guy to bullshit planet to just get this sword and more like it, and you do nothing with it. Like, what, did she have the least valuable sword? Was that not one of the special swords?
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, because I do try
Where are the rest of the swords?
And what happened to the rest? I'd be okay with them blowing up.
Yeah.
But then that makes
it was swords plural, and then we've only seen one sword the whole movie.
It'd be even worse if the other swords did blow up, because then now it boosts the one sword's value by it being the only one left.
Yeah.
But it's worthless because no one ever takes any opportunity to use it for anything.
Yes, and we never found out why her dad was popular.
Like, that sword is it's actually the anti-Chekhov's gun. It's the first thing brought up in the movie. One of the first lines in the movie is about these swords. And that sword, I kid you not, that sword does not get one drop of blood the entire movie. They don't even, like, you know how they do a thing where they press the sword up enough where it gets a little bit of blood? They don't even do that.
Yeah.
No,
they kill a guy with it.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Who?
Somebody killed a guy with it.
Did they?
Yeah, I think maybe Lobo killed somebody with it.
I don't think
forgot.
he touched that sword, man.
It killed somebody, though. I know that for a fact. So it did kill someone.
If that sword has even
random, I think it was a random guy. It didn't like.
Maybe that sword has.
No,
one
Lobo
kill
used it to cut that guy's head off. I think. I want to say I could be wrong.
I think that was when he came back. He either used a random weapon or maybe his hook.
Yeah,
because I think the girl still had the sword at that point.
But somebody, the sword did kill somebody.
Then Krem had the sword. Then the girl got it back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think it.
Maybe Krem killed somebody with it. I don't know, but.
So that sword might have one confirmed.
Yeah, it has
kill.
one body, I think. They think it has one body.
Mind you, this sword was worth Krem going out to bullshitistan in space.
Yeah.
And like I'm not even. I'd say killing this family, but Krem would just kill a family because he saw a family. Yeah. But like, still, you went out to the boonies of space.
Yeah.
To get these swords, supposedly.
Yeah.
But what are they worth?
What role do you think Supergirl plays in the rest of the DCU going forward? Do you think it's more of like a Captain Marvel role where she just shows up to help and BOP and then leave? Or do you think she's going to have like kind of like a, I don't know, something like Cap? You know what I mean?
I was going to say, if this movie's anything to go off of, she's frankly going to be less of a threat around than Superman. Like, it could just be because of all the things done, but honestly, I think
she's staying on Earth.
But I think even at her full power, this movie makes her seem weaker than Superman. Like, I feel like more was done to portray his power in his movie than hers, and it could be because he's on Earth.
Another thing I didn't like about this film is how they portrayed her movement.
Yeah, I feel like Superman's movement was.
I really, not even him too, but like I think like. Personally, I really enjoy, if you've ever seen Invincible or if you've ever seen The Boys, the way like Homelander moves, especially when he's flying. Man of Steel, like, when they move and they stop on a dime, like they move extremely fast.
They transfer 100% of their momentum into whoever they just
yes,
hit. That guy explodes somewhere.
Exactly. Like even like Superman in BVS when he was punching Batman, like he was like he just like
he
almost TPs to him, and then you go flying. Yes, it's like the way she flew in this film. It kind of felt like a Mary Poppins like floating around.
It's like she's gently flying around, but she's hitting people in their flying places.
Yeah. Which is like, it didn't really feel imposing. She didn't really feel particularly strong until that Dust Bowl fight when they were circling the girl. And then she felt very strong.
That powerful.
Yeah.
And like between that and the bus scene, but like.
But Lobo felt way stronger than her throughout the film.
I was gonna say even though
him hooking people and yanking them and I mean,
like he felt like he's swinging around more force than she is.
And I don't know if that's just Jason Momoa having better choreography skills, maybe, or if his stunt double, I don't know. But whatever. Or her CGI looked really weird sometimes.
I think it was a bit of CG because they didn't do crap to portray her.
That is true, man.
She just like nothing she does in this movie really looks all that fast.
And like in especially in superhero films, right? Your brain can detect.
Even looks like she's hitting hard.
Yes, and like your brain can detect like the fucking force equation.
Like
force equals mass times velocity.
Visual tricks you can do to convey speed and force.
Yes. So the more velocity, your brain automatically attributes that to force, right? And that's why in Invincible, when Omni-Man is juggling people through the air or dashing and stopping on a dime, you see the blood fly off of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you can just it just feels like there's more force in that character. Like that character is extremely strong because of how they're moving. Thrag as well, right? The way he moves. He moves up to you, stops right there, and it's just like there's so much aura in the way that they move.
If you're gonna do a Kryptonian or any character like a Kryptonian, you genuinely. I think you just have to use that trick now.
Yeah.
It's just become mandatory because like Man of Steel, I think Man of Steel started it, and then Wonder Woman even has it a couple times in her DCU showings. And Invincible picked it up, and I'm sorry, I think that's just become the standard. If your Kryptonian-like character cannot blitz across a room, barely visible, and slam someone to the other side of the room, I don't want them.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not convinced.
I agree.
I'm not convinced that they're invincible.
I agree. Yeah, man. Even like the way Superman flies in like Man of Steel, where he's like he can like pass through objects with literally no effort. Like he just like flies, he just like floats through them, and just like a brick wall just crumples. You know what I mean? Like it just makes them feel strong. You know what I mean? And I feel like in this film, maybe it's a power scaling thing. They wanted other people to be able to fight her, which I'm not mad about. Right? I don't think she should be impervious to attacks.
Oh yeah,
that's just boring. But
it's like I feel like Superman accomplishes that. There's plenty of characters who can fight Superman, even if he's stronger.
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie doesn't do that for some reason. And it's like they even have the benefits of like several things throughout this movie that weaken her.
Last question. Okay. Do you think that who's worse? Who's worse? The girl in this film or Oliver?
The girl in this film. Because Oliver
when it comes to being a liability? When it comes to being a liability?
When it comes to being a liability. Because I was going to say Oliver's not badly written. He's just a liability and an idiot.
Yes, I'm talking about when it comes to being a liability.
Being a liability. I think I got to give that one to Oliver, bro. Because, like, he's, like, over.
He actively loses fights.
He's, like, 1 for 4. He's really done ridiculous
I feel like the
little girl in
this film,
a couple of times. Granted, I'll say I'm going to be honest. I think
she never clutched up, but, like, she did the cool
when
thing.
She was captured, she got Lobo into the fight. And
she had one choke move.
But if she didn't get that choke move, Lobo doesn't get his guy, and Supergirl gets her head cut off.
Sure, I guess, yeah.
Meanwhile, like, can you say there's any scenario where if Oliver didn't jump in, Mark would be dead? The only one I can give him is when he hits the first uppercut on.
Yeah. When he came, in.
Every combat maneuver he's done since then has been a mistake. Every single one, every flip, every punch, everything. It's all been a mistake ever since then.
You're not wrong.
He hasn't made one good move in a fight. The closest was that flurry of punches he did on Conquest, but you just shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with, my guy. Like, you can't. That's like saying I crashed into a friggin' tree, but like me managing to like sufficiently back my car up off of the tree means I did good. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah. But that is the stuff. I think we're good with that. That was our synopsis for
I'm
Supergirl.
Staying on it. It should have been a Wonder Woman movie or at least another Justice Leaguer. We should have fleshed out Earth. And we should have come back to Supergirl when we were more ready.
Agreed. I think this is a great film. 10 films in. Maybe not a great film, but it's a better film. 10 films in.
5 films in. Like maybe maybe 1, maybe 2 more on Earth, and then she's our first adventure out into the universe. You know?
I agree. I think that's a great where Guardians was in the lineup of Marvel movies. I think that's where Supergirl would fit. It's not as good as Guardians was.
No, because I feel like Guardians does do a good job of even like world building in space.
Yes.
Like honestly, Marvel actually does a good job of building out space, which is pretty impressive considering it's space.
Yeah.
But Supergirl is
how convoluted the comics can get too.
But with Supergirl, it definitely just feels like honestly, it feels like everywhere in this movie is just some random location. Like I have no good
you have no
map
semblance of anywhere. Yeah, no.
After Supergirl, Supergirl didn't add anything to the universe. I just know how Krypton went down,
and the color of the sun depends on how strong she's going to be during the segment of the movie.
Yeah, which like.
And it tells you the color of the sun, by the way, every single time they move somewhere.
Yeah,
that's like under
because that's frankly the only important part. Literally.
Yeah,
like,
that's the only important part.
They give you planet names. I don't remember any of those planet names. They don't matter.
Nope.
There's no culture to be worried about.
Nope.
There's no like. These people aren't significant actors in events that happened a long time ago, or are they gonna happen, or are happening right now.
There's no unique cultures on this planet that dictate how things are run. Everything's just a bar.
Literally, it's just every time they go to a different planet, they could just drop green sun. Yellow sun,
that's what they do, and that's what they do too.
And that's all.
They put it on screen, and they put a tint, and they put a tint. Yep, and they just tint the film.
And it's like, let's be honest, the sun is the only part of this that matters.
Yes, exactly.
And
the sun conveniently comes up and goes down at her bidding
right now. And honestly, even when she has her full strength, she just doesn't feel all that strong. Where like Superman, despite how many things do absolutely like almost rock him in that movie, or even do just rock him, he still does feel like he's convincingly one of the strongest beings on Earth.
Yeah,
the strongest one.
Dude, I think the thing that pissed me off most about this film was Krem having kryptonite. Krypton, knowing that kryptonite is its weakness, everyone on kryptonite would have died with that secret.
Yeah, like literally, canonically, they all die with that secret. Heck, a lot of them probably didn't even really know it. They just kind of died on that.
Yeah, they didn't really even seem to know what was going on.
Yeah,
they just
it's
knew
like
they were
you
dying.
think Jor-El or I'm forgetting which
so
one. So
how does that info get out?
You think him being the genius he was would have probably like, because you made this whole plan to put your city in a force field and take it off the planet because you knew how the planet was going to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
You never at all calculated that radiation might, emerge.
Yeah.
Like,
and even if they didn't know about the radiation at first or whatever, it's like, bro, there's fixes to this, and it's yellow sun, and you know this.
Exactly.
So
you
why
all
not
know
just
that
go
yellow
to
sun
one?
makes you actually everything proof.
Yeah.
So like, if you're gonna, because they like their planet or not their planet, their city shot up off of Krypton when it blew up. Just shoot it in the direction of a yellow sun, and I promise you'll get there someday.
Yes, exactly. So, anyway, that's the stuff. We're not gonna bore you anymore with any more semantics, but this is
I guess like when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, Kara's dad literally would have been better off had he just gone with his brother's plan. Just shoot Kara off to Earth. You guys all died anyway. You just traumatized her instead.
Yep.
But literally just. Well, I guess she wasn't born yet.
Yeah, she wasn't born yet,
8
but
more
still.
years to have the baby, but it's like literally you could have like.
As soon as she's a baby, you could just send her with him. Send more people. Why not? Why send 2?
When you know Krypton's gonna blow up, like I guess we'll just gloss over the fact that you don't care about saving 90% of your species. We're just gonna gloss over that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into the ethics of that, but. Literally just build a pod for you and your wife to go to Earth, bro.
And there's no proof that your species can procreate with humans.
None.
So you would send someone that's genetically compatible with.
Yeah,
with
don't send 2 cousins to the same planet, and maybe you can even save your species.
Yeah, but they sent cousins because Kryptonians actually might be dumb.
I'm not gonna lie, like Kryptonians.
It might not be hubris. They might just be dumb.
Yeah, they're the dumbest smart.
They figure out faster than light travel, but they didn't figure out that you can't have kids with your cousin.
Or like climate change. These idiots lost to climate change, but I can't even talk about them because we're about to. So
yeah. I guess are we so much better?
I mean,
were we so different?
Were we so different? We didn't even get faster than light travel, man.
Yeah.
We just suck.
Yeah. But anyway, we're already at 2:19, so we're gonna call it here. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for listening to us.
Yeah, that's our take on Supergirl. Smooth 4 out of 10, I think. Slightly below average film. I hope that the DCU gets better going forward. I hope we get a good Wonder Woman film for the first time in a couple of years.
I hope the next Supergirl is pretty, or like whatever her appearance is going to be. Hopefully another movie.
I hope Clayface is good.
Good.
Yep. I hope Clayface is good. I hope we get a Batman.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to leave behind the era of superhero movies being amazing.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I know.
I hope we get a good Flash. Please give me a good Flash, man.
Man, I've been like, it's the last time we had a good Flash. Let me see, because the series started in 2014, so that would be like 2016, 2017 was the last time the Flash got any good representation in anything, like at all.
Yeah.
Please, save my goat.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next episode. That'll be coming very soon. See ya.